words, educating you think changes you. It doesn't. It ain't the brain that makes you different. So the system, the culture, doesn't translate your PhD into being a superior human. It says you are simply a superior thinking slave. So it doesn't matter how much education you get. It doesn't matter how much accolades you put behind your name. It doesn't matter how much you achieve. In the Greek mind, in the Roman mind, which is the leadership that came over, you are still a slave by providence. Do you know that they actually created a theology for this? Because every ideology needs a theology to make it legal. Can I say it again? Yes. Write it down. Every ideology needs a theology to make it legal. So you will find, even like in apartheid had a theology created by the Dutch Reformed Church, which was based on Greek philosophy as well. Because remember, South Africa was taken over by Romans, Europeans. Hitler, if you all remember Hitler, Adolf Hitler was an interesting guy. Adolf Hitler said that he had a visitation from God. You ever read his Mein Kampf? He believed that God chose him to restore the Roman Empire. That's why he had a plan to take over Europe again. He says that he was chosen by God to establish what he called the Third Reich, the third reign of the Romans. And this is why, again, his concept of leadership, his philosophy made it easy for him to destroy people. Remember, you need blonde eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes, sharp nose. Okay. So when he looked at the Jews, for example, the Jews got dark hair, dark brown eyes or black eyes, olive skin. He said, they were designed, they are rats to our society, he says. They're sucking our blood. We must kill them. Why? These are not real humans. The gods have made them to be our slaves. So it was easy to kill 10 million slaves between Africa and Carolina in the water. No, sorry, 60 million died on the ships. I was in Ghana early in this year, and I went to one of the forts where they sold slaves. It's an amazing experience. You should go there. And on the wall was a statement written. It says, slaves left here and went to the Caribbean. So I probably found where my great-great-grandfather came from, one of the holes that they went through. I was in touch with my history for a few minutes. I wept. Here's my point. Where did you get your philosophy from determines how you lead people. The way you think about people determines how you lead them or destroy them. So the Greek
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast of the forecast. Yes, it is Mr. Untouchable. What up, Mr. Untouchable? Bit of medicine. What's going on, Raw? Appreciate all of y'all for coming through. Yeah, y'all see the title or whatever, and y'all can come on. This one not gonna be as strict to the topic, even though I kind of want to stick to the topic. I can't be on. Okay, Raw, I got you. I'm not gonna be on here long tonight because I gotta get up in the morning. So, I don't plan on being on here super late, so we're gonna kind of go through this anyway. But anyway, I do gotta go live and do as many things as possible. There's a lot of more things that I could have did, like hit up Twitter spaces and stuff like that and all of that. But there's only a couple of more days left in the water crisis thing. Some of the people that hit me back, is telling me keep going. Amani, my brother. Habari, everybody. But yeah, most of the people, the few people that hit me back so far, I'm pretty sure more is gonna hit me back. But the people that hit me back so far, they telling me to keep going with it and stuff like that. But we're gonna see what everybody want to do. But so I definitely gotta come on here and talk about that and you know keep going with that because I said until the end of August, so we got a few more days, like a week left in it. And let me show y'all what's going on here. All right. All right, so the water crisis we got here, what I'm saying? Shouts out to everybody that put in there. You know what I mean? We're not even really close, but we can keep going because I got more to put to it. But, like I said, I gotta keep trying. And it may be premature. Yo, what up, Harsh Reality Podcast? This may have been premature or whatever, but I still feel like something could have been done. And me and Bakari saying, yo, we got to do something. So I put this out there to try to make it quicker. But we still got to try to do what we can, to help most of the people out there. Because if you see the title, about being spooked out, the power of being spooked out. And most of y'all already know how I feel about it, but I do understand where, especially learning curve coming from with that, is using the power. And I'm not gonna say I don't have my spooked out beliefs, And before I get into that, let me show y'all. Well, actually, is a part of this because I'm gonna go ahead and say this first because all of this is just gonna be us, understanding, how to fight in the name of our honor. We are the chosen ones. We was put in this position for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's up to us to realize who we are and pull ourselves up out of this position and not let anybody stop us. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been like even when I was a kid, and this may be too much information, but it is what it is. But even as a kid, I would feel like this like energy, like it's hard to describe it, it's like not like a ghost or nothing like that, but it's like other energies like around me or whatever, you know what I mean? And I never kind of been afraid of like stuff like ghosts because one thing that I realized is, if there is a such thing as ghosts and the ghost is haunting you, that means that your loved ones can come back and protect you. So I look at it like, my loved ones is definitely around me to protect me. And every time that I go on here, I say, I hope I do them justice, And I know that we all believe in even the most coon person, well, not the most coon person, but even most coons would say they honor their own ancestors. You know what I mean? And being so that, because like for me, I don't believe in anything when you put the power outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But maybe we was just looking to the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? To the you know, the wrong images. Because the power is already within us. We already have the power. And it's not as crazy as doing some other things, you know what I'm saying? But it almost take being spooked out because what I say is unity is not, or the Black Messiah is not a particular person, it's an energy. And to be honest with you, one of my spooked out beliefs is I believe in us that we can do it. We may not, I don't know, we may look for excuses not to do it, but I believe that we definitely can. So first let me share this one though, because like I said, we're gonna go through it and just talk about this. But first and foremost, the is in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm not sure if y'all know what's going on down there, and that's another water crisis in another black town. And most of these towns have historical significance. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why people attack things that's supposed to be of significance to you. And there's also a reason why you're supposed to defend these kind of things. All right, so let me play.
Now, the mayor says the staffing shortages are nothing new, but EPA regulators say it is far short of what would be considered adequate for water treatment plants. The mayor says the city samplings on water tests are still failing, not by much, but still failing. Long lines still wrapping around a fire station where the city of Jackson is handing out bottled water to residents who still cannot use what comes out of their faucet without boiling it first.
I hate it. I turned the water on this morning. It was yellow in the tub.
We go through things, and I just had to adapt and understand.
Wait.
Water on this morning. It was yellow in the tub.
We go through things, and I just had to adapt and understand that it was going to happen.
The mayor says.
Now, first and foremost, that's another powerful skill. Like, that's a powerful thing that we have. And sometimes it works to our detriment. The key is learning how to take our things that could be perceived as our weaknesses, which is really our strengths, you know what I'm saying? And how we can adapt to, I mean, if we adapted to slavery, we can adapt to anything, you know what I'm saying? Now, that's just something that we got to realize, you know, when it comes time, like, because people will ask, you know, oh, well, will you be willing to be in one of these towns and put all your resources together to help with fix the water issues yourself? Because that's going to be a threat, you know, when you have things like that. And when you're actually making moves, then you can, you kind of put fear in other people's heart, and then you will have if you want to negotiate, you will have that ability. But if you're not doing nothing but waiting for them to do something, they're going to be like, well, you know, we got to go to, West Virginia, fix up all of them cokeheads, you know. But you know, our ability to adapt to certain situations, you know, it also would it be implied to us adapting, being around to each other, you know what I'm saying? And if we are, you know what I'm saying, spooked out like that, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I agree, Raw, because it's ironic at the towns where, well, I would say first and worse that it's happening to. But our ability to adapt, and because that's a spooked out thing too, you know, because you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to accept conditions like that, you know. But if you're going to accept conditions like that, you know what I'm saying, you might as well do it for yourself, right?
As the city is trying to address the EPA criticism that the water treatment plants are woefully understaffed. Last week, the Public Works Director at first couldn't remember how many Class A operators were at the O.B. Curtis water treatment plant, then later revealed it was 3.
Our staffing challenges are more than just a matter of putting out job applications or job notices. We have been doing that for some time.
Far too few for a 24/7 operation. The mayor revealed Monday that the city is trying to increase hiring incentives and bring back former workers.
We have started entertaining how we bring in former city employees at an hourly or with their hours capped in a way that does not threaten their retirement, but allows them to augment the staffing that takes place at our water treatment facilities.
But the mayor cautioned.
Now, listen, right? Because I know it's difficult to put our tribal differences aside, and I'm one who advocates for people keeping their tribal differences. You know what I'm saying? And having fun debates is a place for fun debates, you know. But when it becomes a problem, you know, and that's where we are here, you know. But like you know, my sister Lorna Kerr say, we have the ability to put aside our tribal difference, whatever belief, my religious beliefs, all of that, to go to work with a white Muslim, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I'm not gonna work with him because he's a Muslim. This brother is from Africa, this brother is ADOS, and you would go do that to make somebody else more money than you. So if you are willing to do that, then theory has it you would be able to do that in your own towns, you know. I mean, just working together to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, people in our communities, right? Because in honesty, it doesn't matter if you're ADOS because this is America. And it doesn't matter if you're Pan-African because you're for Black people all across the world, which would include these people. And these elderly people, these young people, all of these people have feces coming back up through their sinks. And it's not on nobody. Well, of course they take our tax dollars, but what are we gonna do about that? And I'm not saying like what are we gonna do? Like we can't do nothing. I'm saying what are we gonna do about that? But when it comes to fixing the issues, we have hundreds of years worth of understanding. And that's the thing, what I'm saying? We don't have to be spooked out because we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. All we have to do is be spooked out enough to believe in each other, to go to work and put aside our tribal divisions until later when we get off of get off of work and argue on my brother Ben Uko platform about where we come from. Because we can still do that, but there's a time and place for everything.
Even if this current water crisis is resolved, the plant is likely to face even more breakdowns because of a lack of staffing and maintenance over the years. The price tag for repairs at O.B. Curtis estimated to be around $200 million. But right now, the city is still trying to find a way to get 2 days of clear water samples to be able to lift the water warning.
What is the pattern that we have seen is that on the first day, everything's clear. On the second day, testing the same sites, everything is clear with the exception of 2. And then we have to start all over again.
Now, I firmly believe, and I may be spooked out, there are Black people, right? Let's say we had our own community that are smart enough to figure this out, right? Not that we have to call in anybody, or not that you can hire somebody. Like there's a difference, right, between a tool and an ally, right? An ally implies friendship. Like one hand washes the other one. Clearly only one hand is washed, right? And their hand is dirty, of course. The melanin is the pureness. But it's as simple as using the people who are smart in our community, keeping them in our community. And I believe that we can definitely do that, because these kind of issues, are issues that we have faced for a very long time. And our ancestors, have done a whole lot of things, and we are just standing on their shoulders. It's so much easier for us, even though we got the illusion of inclusion, which is a whole nother issue. But still, like I don't have to worry. Maybe, I don't know if they're going to throw a firebomb through my window tonight, but they didn't last night. But what I'm saying is, it's okay to believe in yourself, and something and people and other things that look like you, right? We are chosen. We're chosen to create our own destiny, or we wouldn't even be here. And it's obvious that if you give up control of your own destiny to somebody else, which you are free to do because that's how powerful you are, but we will see the results. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yo, what up, Rashid? What up, Bakari? Yeah, he not like his father. Yeah, I feel you. All right, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and like I said, I'm not gonna be on here long or whatever. But so we're gonna kind of go through this. But y'all just work with me, what I'm saying? We talking about the power of Spooked Out. I always be negative about Spooked Out, but I'm trying to see how we can use this to our advantage. You know what I'm saying? How we can use it, because it dawned on me, we are the chosen ones. Like we were sitting here to be the ones. We are the generation that gets us out of this situation. Like we have all of the information right there at our fingertips, all of the power, the ability to connect. Like we are, and also this is definitely a lesson that I feel like I've learned, what I'm saying? Maybe we haven't as a group yet, but you can't just welcome everybody to the cookout, and you can't just go to anybody else's picnic either, right? Because that's something that we may have to learn, right? Not everybody, it means you well. All right, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat, And if y'all want to come on, y'all can come on. And like I said, we're gonna go through a couple videos, and we not gonna be on here too long. So we're gonna go kind of quick through it. But you like I said, you know, just kind of flow with me. Yeah, Bitter Medicine Podcast. If you got a chance, you should hop on. You don't be hopping on the panels as much. All right, so let's go through this. You know, the power of being spooked out. Okay. Now here, I started with this one just because this brother is a pastor, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm just saying, it just seemed fitting. And I thought this was old, but I think this is new because this happened before, you know, where a pastor or somebody got arrested for watering his neighbor's plants or whatever. So here we go, an Alabama pastor who was arrested while watering their neighbor's garden.
To the black pastor arrested by Alabama police as he was watering his neighbor's garden while they were out of town. TJ Holmes is with us now, and what Pastor Michael Jennings is saying after the ordeal. Good morning to you.
All right, Stray. Driving while black, walking while black, golf vernacular, goes to handcuffs in just a couple of minutes.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor, and so I don't want to hear you. Sir. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
This newly released police body camera video shows the arrest of an Alabama pastor who was watering his neighbor's plant.
Habari, Tanzania. Now, he's a pastor, y'all. And let me say this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not against, you know what I'm saying, the pastor, if you use this thing for the empowerment of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I know that if I'm preaching something that's you know, is out of Wells, you know what I'm saying, what she was saying, every black home should have a rifle, should have a place for a rifle in it. You know, I'm preaching a lot of these kind of quotes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that preaching the ancestors quotes, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pastor of the ancestors quotes, you know what I mean? Like and you could take it to whoever you want to take it to. You know, Brother Madison Washington, you know, he went back into slavery twice to free, you know what I'm saying, his wife, and ended up freeing hundreds of people. And I know they're going to, if they ever learn about that story, they're going to try to say it's fake. But you know what? I'm going to stand on that. Whether it happened or not, I know Nat Turner was a preacher, you know what I'm saying? And whether it happened, you know what? I'm going to stand on that. A brother who used the Bible and got these people to stand up for what it was and didn't say a word and went out like a G, like a soldier, because he wasn't scared. I'll definitely be spooked out in that case, you know, that he was definitely a pastor.
Do what you got to do. Go on and lock me up.
This past spring, Pastor Michael Jennings was doing a favor for a neighbor who'd asked him to water their plants while they were out of town. But police arrived and started questioning him.
This vehicle is not supposed to be here, and you're not supposed to be
Who's
here.
saying that? I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
You're Pastor Jennings?
Yes, I'm looking out for their house while they gone.
Okay.
Watering they fly.
Okay.
Now, the question is Pastor Jennings have the same God as this dude here? You know what I'm saying? Because in my, or the way I taught it, we was created in God's image, but they have two different images. So, okay.
Okay.
Watering they fly.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Now, do you have like ID? And
yeah, David Walker.
No, man. I'm not going to give you no ID.
Why not?
I ain't did nothing wrong.
And if you're not one to identify yourself.
Who called y'all?
That's what we got to figure out.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor, and so I don't want to hear you. Sir. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
We're just trying to talk to you, man. Come here. Look, man, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone, dude. Just calm down. Okay?
No.
Stop.
Do what you got to do. Go on and lock me up. I told you I'm a pastor.
Okay, look, man.
Who called y'all?
You have to identify yourself.
All I did said, hey, man, do you live here? No. Is that your car? No.
The pastor was eventually put in the back of a squad car. A woman soon arrives on scene, identifies herself as a neighbor, and vouches for Pastor Jennings.
He lives right there, and he would be watering their flowers. This is probably my fault.
She says she is the one who made the initial call to police.
Now, this white girl then called the police on Pastor Jennings. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. And but you know, she had to come out there. You know what I'm saying?
Made the initial call to police.
So you called not because
Yo, what's up, Learning Curve?
of the car, but because you thought you saw someone beside you.
Right, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, I got to keep their flowers watered. I got to keep their flowers watered while they're down. You okay?
Jennings spoke to GMA.
Now, wait a minute now, because, and see, this is why I can respect someone like who you're talking about, because some of these characters would not be like, yo, it's okay, you're good for that. They would be like, you know, even some people that he would probably follow would probably tell her, like, get down like a dog, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know it as well. But I'm just saying, why, like, who are you pastoring about? Because, yo, there is a power, like, because, like, yo, it hit me today, yo. I realized, you know what I'm saying, we have been chosen. I realized, you know, everybody, I was chosen to speak the words and do all the things that I was chosen to do. Right. And this is definitely a lesson that we have learned. And I'm here to make sure that we have got this lesson so we can get to the next chapter already. You know what I'm saying? We can get back to what we was doing without letting the pale face in, I guess.
You okay?
Jennings spoke to GMA about the ordeal.
You know, it was kind of surreal at that moment because I'm wondering, why is this happening? I was thinking if I did something wrong or resisted, that I could have been shot. So I was trying to cooperate, even though I didn't understand what was going on. I was agitated, I was angry, but I knew to comply.
The 56-year-old maintains this was a case of racial profiling.
You racial profiling?
We're not racial profiling.
Yes,
No, sir. No, sir. We're not about that.
I told you I was here watering the flowers.
How do I know that's the truth? Anybody?
I had the water over in my hand.
How he know as the water is going on the flowers?
Throughout the video, police can be heard suggesting that the situation might have been different if Jennings had provided identification.
It doesn't matter if pastor or if he's a pastor or not. Like the thing is, he seems nice enough.
Now, this is the only thing about, you know what I'm saying, the real world, you know, because I know it doesn't matter if he is never mind.
Just talk to us.
Alabama law allows police to ask someone for identification in a public place if they reasonably suspect that person of committing a crime.
To be shackled and to have your freedom taken away from you, you know, it's something else. It's dehumanizing. And I thought, you know, why would they be doing this? It's something that it gives you nightmares. It gives you nightmares after.
Jennings maintains there was no crime, given he was on private property with permission.
The neighbor, a white woman, and they took her word as the gospel truth. But the pastor who preached the gospel every Sunday, they didn't take his word at all.
That's because there is two different gods that they are talking to. And as long as you are not talking to the one that is for you, who is telling you the right answer to do and not telling you to forgive her, you're talking to the wrong one. You're supposed to be talking to the one who has thought about all of your ancestors and everything that have been through. And he's telling you, because like that's when you start trusting, you know, that I'll use the word source. When they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Like all of y'all in chat can probably get on here and tell you what you need to do. Rock can probably put it in the chat what you need to do, but as long as you're going to the opposite, you know, because that's what I've been here for. You know what I'm saying? They have given me the energy to do this. I don't come up here by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And, you know, I'm just a regular person, you know. But as long as you are going to somebody else's God, then maybe you are being regular too. And the one that defends your face, because it's his face, that's the one you should listen to.
Pastor was charged with 1 count of obstruction of government operation. That charge was later dropped. For now, Jennings Pastor Jennings says he's leaning on his faith.
My faith has helped me a lot because I knew that God would work the situation out. You have to forgive people because, you know, you can't judge people and hold things against people.
You have to forgive people, right? Holding on to you know what? It's a reason, it's a place for madness though. You know what I'm saying? It is a place for madness. And there's a place for empowerment. You know what I'm saying? It's a place for not forgetting. It's a difference from not forgiving somebody and not forgetting and not ever letting yourself be in that situation again. I believe in energy. I think that energy is a real thing.
Pastor does say plans to file a lawsuit. Police department say they have no comment on this.
All right, so listen, I understand, and he tried to put the pastor thing out there, you know what I'm saying? But and I understand that we're not, you know, praying to a tree right now, but you know what? That tree gives life and vitality. And the person that he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, is probably going to side with that white girl. And I can't put that on him. I'm just saying from my experience, for most people from that intention, we don't look at it the right way. All right, so we're going to go to the next thing here. All right, in Florida, a pregnant mom handcuffed at gunpoint. All right.
The fallout from a pregnant Florida mother handcuffed at gunpoint by a sheriff's deputy during a traffic stop as her 3 children watched. The deputy has resigned. TJ Holmes joins us with more about what happened and how the sheriff is responding this morning, TJ.
And Trey, look, we have talked right here plenty of times, showing almost seemed like countless.
And let me stop it before we play this. I will say this, you know what I'm saying? There is nothing more powerful than a man, woman, child. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about the Holy Trinity, that would be mine. That is your ability to live on. You pass down your DNA, you know what I'm saying? All of that, right? And the family structure is the most important thing. And not having trauma go to the baby is very real. That energy is very real. A baby in the womb will absorb that energy from his mother, and all of that is very real. You know what I'm saying? And if we love ourselves, you know, and then we will love our children, and we should love our children enough to protect them from any kind of trauma that could happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Protect that energy around, especially when they're in the womb, when they're in the world, all of that, because that's very important. And for your pregnant, you know what I'm saying, your pregnant woman, you know what I'm saying, to feel protected is very important, because the energy that she walks around, and that's the energy that the baby, like usually the baby comes with. And a lot of the trauma that we have, it may be even written before we was born. You know what I'm saying? But that's the obstacle that you have to overcome. That's why we see these things over and over and over until we overcome it. Right? And until we realize that the man, woman, child, the family structure, and making sure that that structure is protected, you know, with our lives, because it's something deeper, you know what I'm saying? It's something that we need to be spooked out about, you know what I'm saying? The energy that is in our homes, the energy that's around our families, our children, that's something we should take to as the most serious, to me.
Videos of police interactions with citizens that escalate to the point even with deadly consequences. So in the video you're about to see of this interaction, it's the citizen, the pregnant mother, who takes on the role of having to de-escalate a situation, and she's doing this while a screaming officer has his gun pointed at her.
You make any movement, that'll be your last mistake you're going to make.
A Florida sheriff's deputy has resigned. after body cam video released over the weekend shows him draw his gun on a pregnant mom during a traffic stop.
You don't know how a traffic stop works?
Bradford County Sheriff's Deputy Jacob Dessou handcuffed Ebony Washington, her 3 young kids watching from inside the car. Washington tells them to keep recording. This all started Friday evening when Dessou blared his sirens on a dark rural road, signaling Washington to pull over for speeding. After driving about a mile.
Now, he's saying that she should have pulled over. It looked like it's raining too. He got his windshield wipers on or whatever. Now, he wants her to pull over somewhere over here where anything could have happened. And she got children in the car. She's pregnant. And she decides that she's going to go to a lit area, which she definitely should.
For speeding. After driving about a mile farther to the next gas station, she tries to explain she'd done so in order to be in a better lit area. The body cam video shows her exiting her car with her hands up.
The reason why I did not stop is because I'm in the middle of nowhere and my husband tell me I don't care.
No, wait. Before, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and her husband probably told her not to stop until she gets into the right area. You know what I'm saying? Because look, to be in a situation where you got to be worried that when the cop is behind you, you know what I'm saying? That's a kind of trauma that is inflicted over and over and over. It reinforces that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Even down to mentally, we understand, but to our core, you know what I'm saying? Well, some people don't even mentally understand, but to our core, it's like an energy kind of shifts because of the trauma that has built up over years and years and years. And we understand what it means for this to be happening, and she should not be pulling over in the middle of the night. And her husband told her absolutely right. And this dude still pulled out a gun because he don't really care.
I don't care about why. Just shut up. Yes, sir. About the why. Yes, sir. Don't care about the why.
Now, I say Joe Biden's speech all the time, you know what I'm saying? I don't care why they are like they are. I don't care what led to the circumstances. All I care about is that they're away from my pregnant wife. They're away from my mother. They're away from my son. So don't talk to me about rehabilitation, right? It doesn't matter what their society has created, because you obviously see they don't care about why. And I know, like I said, I may be spooked out. You know what I'm saying? I don't care because I understand he don't care. And the most important thing is that my wife, my pregnant wife, walks through the door. And the fact that you can't do anything time and time again I think is because we take that power from outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
But I let him know I'm pregnant, sir. I'm 4 months pregnant, because I felt like how hard he pulled me that he would actually throw me to the ground.
In an ABC News exclusive with her daughters, Washington says she knew her decisions in that moment were critical.
I didn't give him a reason for him to harm me in front of my children, and so my calmness really just came in because I was afraid for my life.
I was really scared for my mom, and I didn't know what they were going to do to her.
Washington's husband believes the officer's reaction went well beyond what was necessary.
She was treated as though she was a terrorist, you know, for simply not pulling over. And
now, let me tell you something. All right. We do cause fear, you know what I'm saying? In their minds, that's all that matters, you know what I'm saying? It's not about right and wrong. This is where we need to start being spooked out a little bit. It's not about right and wrong. It's about perception. It's about reality. They see you as a threat, as a problem. And if you don't comply, then that's a problem. They already have this arrogance with their own people, but that's their issue. That's not my problem. But I'm talking about with us. Of course, they have that arrogance. And of course, he can see her as a terrorist, because that's what they're designed to do. And not only that, You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about this particular case here, but the man, woman, and child is a terrorist organization for them. A strong man, woman, and child healthy, because that'll start creating neighborhoods, which will create communities, which will create, you know, cities, which create states, which creates a nation. And when you have a nation and an army to defend you, then nobody can just do anything to you, especially not handcuff my pregnant wife and not see no consequences.
Within the time frame, the officer believed that she should have.
Bradford County Sheriff Gordon Smith tells ABC News he's disappointed this happened, and we don't deal with black and white, we deal with right and wrong. The sheriff says Washington did exactly the right thing.
She explains to him that, you know, she's flashing lights to get to a lit area. Okay, well, that's what I want my wife to do. That's what I want my daughter to do. That's what I want my neighbor to do if you feel unsafe.
Washington's attorney now.
John Brown said it, so I'm good, y'all.
Vows to pursue any avenue to.
But we see it more and more, and usually it involves stereotypes.
This mom wanted to send a message.
I'm not that type of person. I'm an educated woman, and so I felt like I needed to, like, loosen that stereotype that may have been in their head.
Now, there's another thing. We got to start actually defining educated, you know what I'm saying? But, and yo, by the way, her husband name, I think, was Preacher, you know what I'm saying, which is ironic. But, oh, yeah, real quick, before we go to the next thing, because this, I just wanted to show this, because this is another problem. Like, once our children are born, right, is teaching them, right, who they are, to not let nobody ever disrespect them, because they are God in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? He is the future of us. He determines how the world is going to go in the future. And we have to start teaching our children, you know what I'm saying, what is cool, what is not cool, boundaries, and don't let nobody cross those boundaries.
Little leaguers being little leaguers right there. Hey, next week's Sunday night baseball matchup should be a good one. Atlanta and St. Louis. Cardinals leading the Central.
They had to get that logo out there so you can see this little brother face.
Up that 3-game series at Busch, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, ESPN, Deportes, and Radio. And we'll start with 6 Eastern baseball tonight's Sunday night countdown.
Now they try to say, you know, they do that to everybody, but I don't care about everybody else, right? I'm worried about us. And kind of pride, self-esteem or whatever has to be instilled into your child. You know what I'm saying? To not let some white boys do some haze or on him or some, like, whatever they do. Because we know they got wild hazes and they do all kind of wild stuff. But yo, the mental health, the knowledge, the self-love of your child, you know what I'm saying, should outweigh all of this, even if it's a spooked out thought, you know what I'm saying? That's very important. This is God in the flesh. He determined what's going to happen in the next 50 years. And we don't want him, because there's too many black children like, yo, I'm not good at science. You haven't even got to like 5th grade science yet. How do you know you like science? Because that's where all of the technology is going to come from, the way that we, all of the technology that we need, including the way that we defend ourselves. Yo, all of that stuff needs to be protected, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because it is bigger than us. It isn't an individual thing. It isn't just you and your children thing. It might be, you may not see something until your grandchildren. And I don't think that's going to happen, but you may not if we started today. But if we started today, I think by next year, we can solve a lot of the water crises, the hunger crises that we have in our community if we started today. But, we just have to have that blind faith that we seem to have in other people's things in ourselves. Because once you have that blind faith in yourself, then the sky's the limit. All right, so all right, and so on the opposite, let me show y'all this real quick. Now, this shows you that this kind of stuff is taught, right? How you control generations and stuff like that is teaching the children, right? That's how you keep societies the way that they are, or change them to the way that you want to, because you know it's just how it is. And I think this is a mulatto girl here, bro, based off what she say.
Nigga. 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 Nigga.
Stop saying that. You're not mixed. Ow! With me. Ow! Ready? I'm about to scream it. Scream it with me. Ready?
Now, this is and I hope one of y'all sons don't date this little white bitch here, but she's gonna grow up to be another one of them. You know what I'm saying? But this kind of thing, right, is not by accident, as we see. This is the kind of mindset that other people are training their children with. And we kind of stop acting like we don't understand that. And then little white bitches grow up to be people like this. Now, I don't know if y'all saw this boyfriend hall thing. Now, it's funny that all of them that I've seen happen to be black dudes, and I've seen like probably like 5, 6, 7 of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's just because it pop up. But check this out.
Let's do a boyfriend haul. I got my boyfriend approximately 5.5 years ago. It's about to be 6. Wow, does time fly when you're having fun. My boyfriend specifically, he came with a nice body. Well, am I a lucky gal? Usually gotta pay extra for that one. As much as he has a nice body, he has a mean face. Every single person he sees, he hates. It's called mean mugging. In reality, he has a very warm heart, but nobody gets to see that. It's a really good technique to keep the hose away. My boyfriend also came with big feet. You know what that means? Big feet, big meat. And to wrap it up, he came with a beautiful head of curly hair, which he barely let me touch his, but it's okay. I could see it from a distance, just like a little statue in a museum.
All right, so this brother is a statue in the museum. Now, let me tell you this, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is not a part of my religion, you know what I'm saying? Now, it's a little bit too spooked out for me here, right? But I will say this, you know what I'm saying? I guess the kryptonite for black dudes, what the hell is going on here? Because I don't know, man. Societies have been destroyed. Maybe this is my spooked out. Societies have been destroyed behind stuff like this, man. And we haven't learned our lesson yet. It makes no sense, man. And let me go to the next one because so we can hurry up.
Oliver?
Cousin, my bad. Oh, Okay, yeah.
Seriously.
All right, check this out because I showed this one last time, but listen to
So
what
a couple
she
of
said.
days ago,
This
I
Indian without the dot on her head said.
Posted a video on my boyfriend haul, and it was something that was trending on TikTok. It's basically you show off your boyfriend as if you bought your boyfriend and all of the specs. So
Slave auctions,
speaking about your boyfriend or your husband as if it was an inanimate object. I posted this video with, you know, just a lighthearted lens. And as soon as I posted the video, I think a day or two later, I received a comment letting me know.
Now, wait, let me stop here. Okay, because I may be spooked out tonight, but my God is still not a people of color God. You know what I'm saying? It's not for all people. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Uh, my God told me to hire black people first in my businesses. It told me to do business with other black people. It told me to help black children. It told me to help black women. It told me to help black men. My God is not a two-sided God. I'm sorry. I'm not that spooked out yet.
How the video was triggering and how inappropriate it was. As soon as I saw that comment, I took down my video, and someone had already made a stitch about it. So that is the stitch that has been circulating around. And I'm so disappointed in myself for not being educated enough on slave trading and slave auctions and slave breeding. It was never my intention to make fun of or make that situation so lighthearted that I was able to talk about it in a funny lens.
Well, you know what? My God is not a forgiving God. All right? You did what you did. Now you got to suffer whatever consequences come to you. My God don't forgive. All right?
It's extremely cringe. And after I've seen the comments and Googled it and did some research, it's just something that I just can't even believe that I put out there. As a mom of 2 African-American kids and an African-American husband.
Wait a minute. As a mom of what?
2 African-American kids and...
Uh-oh. Now, those of you who are saying this, she did the slave block. I guess she has black kids. Does she have black kids? Is that possible? Or I don't know. That's out of my league right there. It's out of my pay range.
And an African-American husband. It's just not acceptable. And I take full responsibility for how unnecessarily hurtful my video was. I can't believe that, you know, I spoke on something that I knew nothing about, and it's totally unacceptable. And from the bottom of my heart, I apologize to every single person that was triggered, that was hurt, that
blah, blah, blah. Okay.
For me to ignorantly
here we go.
Post a video without knowing anything about the matter is totally unacceptable. And I just wanted to come on here and apologize from the bottom of my heart to, again, anyone and everyone that was offended. And I have a responsibility. I brought 2 children into this world that deserve to know the history. Like, I've been with Habib since I was 14 years old. I fought for my relationship so hard. And for me,
I don't know if I should stop it because y'all might put y'all capes on. I'm gonna go ahead and test y'all tonight. I got faith, you know what I'm saying? I'm spooked out tonight. I got faith that y'all ain't gonna put y'all capes on.
To not take the time to educate myself on any of this matter is so selfish and so ignorant on my part, and I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And now I know that, you know, it's such a pinnacle point and such an important point for me to educate myself so I can educate my children, and they won't grow up
African-American
ignorant
children.
like me. They won't grow up not knowing their background, and it's just not right. And
now, okay, listen, right? There is a need for self-identification. You know what I'm saying? Right? Can a white girl have a black son? Can this Pakistani chick, whatever she is, can she have a black son, black daughter? That's interesting. Because even some people who follow you know, other religions, you know, even if you read the text or whatever, you know what I'm saying, their God is for them. And other people, their God is strictly for them. All right. So And I personally believe, and maybe I'm spooked out, but the mother and father both count. You know what I'm saying? It takes 50% of both. So therefore, you know, it would take both to have a black child. Now, I know that, you know what I'm saying, the energy that comes to me comes for black people, right? It doesn't make quote unquote biracial people an enemy or problem. It just means that, and me personally, I want a kid that looks like me. So it would be I can only have a kid with a black woman. You know what I'm saying? But if I was to have a kid with any other person, they just wouldn't be black. Doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means that they're not black. And I don't know if they are protected or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I do know that they have told me that you have to have a black mother, a black father. Okay, I'll put it this way. You know, you got to have at least 3.5 black grandparents to be considered black starting right now. That's what they told me. Because self-identification is important thing. It's important not to be able to, because if other people is not going to take, you know what I'm saying, biracial children, why are you sitting there accepting everybody into your community? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Yo, cool. What up, brother?
Hey, Forecast, how are you tonight?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. I heard you talking about something that's near and dear to me, which is this STEM stuff. You know, that's my profession, and so that's something I get to see up close.
Hey, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
No, I say that STEM is my profession, and I get to see it up firsthand how where you know our people are spooked out in that area too. You know, our people are afraid to embrace it, and the reality, like you said, like you alluded to, the reality is our road to power, be it economic and otherwise, militarily and stuff like that, it's going to come through STEM. But the problem that we have is that we tend to have people who can be brilliant in STEM, but we don't support them. And I was having a conversation with Sister Tanzan, and she made a good point. And I talked about this in an old episode of my show. You got to join those STEM people. Those people who are in STEM, you got to join them with business. And black folks are doing business, but they're not doing the right business. They're not putting dollars behind these kids who would be, you know, the leaders of our nation building and stuff like that going forward. And that's where we fail. If you look at white society, they put money up for those smart kids. If they could grab them kids out of college and lure them with a 7-figure deal for them to work on certain ideas. Because I read something recently where a white kid was pulled out of college because his physics professor or someone read a paper he wrote and spoke to his buddies in industry, and those buddies came with the money bags and you know, entice that kid to leave college and all. So, you know, that's how these guys keep ahead of us. We're not doing that. We allow our kids who have potential, we allow them to go through the whole indoctrination process of grade school and college and stuff like that. And then at the end, when they have these degrees and these fields that we need when we talk about nation building, we didn't build an industry, we didn't build an economy. So these kids have to go elsewhere, you know, to fit into someone else's industries and someone else's economies. And it's all for what? Right? At the end of the day, like I was telling my kids earlier today, you know, you have to be the best African you can be, and whatever skill you have to be using that for your people. Even if you have to, because your people didn't build industries, you didn't build economies. Even if you have to go and make your daily bread from this enemy of ours, which is sad. But even if you do have to do that, you have to find a way to give back that expertise and train up the next generation or generations of our people, and hopefully one day soon the people who have the money in our community, which is all of us really, because we all contribute to the spending power of the community. You know, eventually people will start putting that money to really serve, you know, like the matron would say, you pay your thinkers, right? To really serve the people who are the thinkers, who are the actual doers, who have the insight and knowledge, etc. But we are so, like you would say, spooked out that we believe that this God thing is fair and this God will make a way, and you know, all this kind of nonsense. It just doesn't work out for us, man. So, you know, I just wanted to add that to what you were saying earlier about STEM and the whole spookism. And I thank you for allowing me to come on.
Yeah, absolutely. You make excellent points. Yo, what's up, Tracy? Learning Curve said facts. They picked those kids early. And you know what? There's a reason math and science is here. You know what I'm saying? It's there for us to be able to discover it. You know what I'm saying? All of it is there for us to discover. And once we realize that, we can use these discoveries for the advancement of ourselves, the advancement of my situation, or like, to solve the diabetes problem or whatever, or to solve the water problem, or make a thing that you can, just make something, water or whatever. But Learning Curve in Tanzania just came on. So what's up, Tanzania?
Mzuri sana. You forgot.
Yeah. I forgot. Habari, Amani, Tanzania.
Mzuri. And you? Greetings to Learning Curve. Greetings, Goku. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings, Tan. Greetings, Matron.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. Yeah, in terms of the STEM, I think it's two kinds of spookism when it comes to STEM. The first one is that whole idea that you're entering someone else's sanctuary, because most of physics and mathematics and all that is associated with Western education, or with Western minds. So that's your first hurdle. And then the second one is that one is for the ambitious children, but the first one is they scare the maths and science out of Black children from very early on. So most of them, then the natural curiosity that children would have, some of them don't even go for because they're afraid of mathematics and science being hard. So they've already gotten maybe 60-70%, and then you have some that persevere through it and say, well, I still want to do these subjects. I'm still curious about mathematics and science. So they encounter even more hurdles after they choose that path. So there's a lot of preparation for Black children. The first one is to give them this almost entitled feeling towards knowledge, that they have as much right to go and get the knowledge as other children. In fact, they have more. And then the second thing is to know how to conduct themselves despite the sea of paleness and whiteness that they're going to encounter. Yes, I'll pass it on to the matron.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Tanzan. What's going on, Revolutionary Matron?
What's going on with you guys? I'm glad to be on the panel tonight. Thank you very much. I can't buy that our children don't go after it, because Oni is a whole physicist, okay? And Koku works, as he said, in STEM and education every day and in a science lab. So I think that our children are deterred. Just a little bit about me. I always tell you guys this, but I grew up in Detroit, which means I had Black teachers, but they were burnt out and they didn't give a damn. And I had a math teacher tell me that I was brilliant, but she had no program for me to go into. So we are under-resourced in our community, and we don't see the value in having programs in those areas where those bright lights pop up, and a teacher may recognize it, to filter them into a community. The church used to do that, but it hasn't done that in over 40 years, because in my lifetime, it was never a whole life center. And we need whole life centers for our people. I pass the mic.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And hey, let me play like 10 seconds for y'all real quick. I want y'all to hear what y'all say about this. All right, before we go to the next thing.
You know that they actually created a theology for this? Because every ideology needs a theology to make it legal. Can I say it again? Yes. Write it down. Every ideology needs a theology to make it legal. So you will find even like
All right, so I could say, define legal, but based off what he said, what I'm saying, what y'all think about that statement?
I'll go first. Every idea needs a doctrine behind it. Every idea can be filtered through an organized process and steps. And he's right. My ideology is Black empowerment. So that's how I'm trying to organize the things that I'm doing here. So that Black empowerment is the ideology, and it is heading towards being a theology. We're going to have a doctrine, and we're going to have different things that we integrate into our Black children because we need that.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. That's why we're talking about the power of Spooked Out. You know what I'm saying? There can be a power behind it. I feel what you're saying. Koku, Tanzania, y'all want to say something on that?
Yes, I agree. Oh, go ahead.
No. You go ahead, Tam.
No, I agree. But I would add this, that sometimes even the ideology is not seen. When you look at something like science, it doesn't seem to have any ideology except, precision and truth and all that. It's not like a religious one where people worship science and it seems very non-ideological. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so, it's so insidious, because you don't see it as one. People who study science and things like that, they almost seem like, oh, you have a non-objective view towards things. I'm just, impartial and unbiased and all that. And sometimes they end up causing, some of the worst harm to humanity because of their lack of bias. So everything we do should have an ideology, and we should also watch out for the hidden ideologies behind some of the things that we do. I'll pass. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, ideology and theology to me can sometimes be a little antagonistic, because ideology is a system of ideas, right? But theology is like this thing based on, especially when it comes to science and STEM, right? I kind of understand what Tan and the matron are saying, but the theology thing is like unevidenced, right? And so to take something that's unevidenced and make that be the driving force of something that is an ideology of trying to find the evidence, I find that to be a little bit funny style. But I will say this though, maybe if they replace theology with something else, I will say that we need to have an ideology behind what we do. So this is where the matron is 100% correct. The ideology we need to have is a Black nationalistic, African centered ideology, where whatever we're doing, whatever we're studying, its application is ultimately for its people. And it's not just STEM, but it's also business. If you're a entrepreneur, a business owner, someone of that ilk, your ideology should also be that everything you do is towards, Black nationalism, freedom, etc. And so that's why I like that conversation I had with Tanzan before, where she said to me, the business people need to be our business people, our people who make money, who know how to earn money. These folks need to be making those inroads into these schools, into these universities. And when those bright students are found, they need to be jumping on that early and getting those ideas out of them and applying that to our liberation struggles. And that's the thing I want Black folks to be about. So we could talk about, you know, our children going into STEM, and we could talk about the spookism, and all that stuff is correct. But the biggest spookism to me is the fact that you don't have the guys who could sponsor this stuff, the men and women, and institutions that could sponsor this stuff. They're so spooked out, they don't even think about this stuff. Do you think, you know, name me a rich person who always gets mentioned, a rich Black person who always gets mentioned for being giving. You know, whoever it is, I can't think of one right now. Whoever it is.
Like Tyler Perry or something?
Yeah, say a Tyler Perry. Say a Tyler Perry, you know, folks like that. What are they giving to? You know what I mean? Like, what are you backing really? You know, those are the problems that I have. So we should all identify the importance of STEM in terms of nation building. And in particular, if you have the monies, you're supposed to be funding the curriculum. You're supposed to be taking these folks out and creating the industries for them to go into. You know, I read a paper. I don't know if the matron remembers this. I read a paper about this some time ago on my show, where we've been doing this now for over 100 years, where folks are going to college, getting this education, or going to trade schools, getting this education, and then coming out and have to hold their hat in their hand to beg a white man for a job. I mean, how much longer are we going to keep doing this? And then we brag about, you know, it's often bragged about how much millionaires, Black millionaires there are in America versus the world, and Black billionaires. Well, what are you doing really? What are you really doing? And, you know, that's my issue. So, you know, I have that issue with the theology thing, but the ideology thing is solid in that we have to have a more African-centered, more Black nationalist view. And when we do that, I think that's when a lot more of the chips will start to fall in a way for us to get free. I'll pass the mic on that.
All right, and I'll say this, and then I'll give y'all a chance if y'all want to respond before we go to the next thing. You know, I finally understood what Matron was saying. She said a key thing though. Her ideology is Black supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like there are people who will be like, you know, because like you're absolutely right as far as the STEM, because that's a part of it though, teaching them to how to do that, even if it's a spooked out reason. Because let's be real, you know what I'm saying? We've been spooked out for a very long time, even before this. This may be even how we got caught up so easily so many times. But, you know, when it comes to, you know, like Nat Turner, I'm not going to sit there and debate about whether that was existence. Let's talk about the facts and whatever. I'm going to say, yo, this brother used the Bible and used it to spur, a rebellion. You know, he went out there and used it and united the people. You know what I'm saying? That's more important as inspiration. It's almost like you got to meet the people where they are. You know, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But you can put their head in the water, you know, and either they'll drink or they'll drown. So, you know what I mean? So, but any of y'all got something to say about that? All right.
I agree with you. You put their head in the water and they're going to drink or they're going to drown. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And Black people are spooked out. You know, if it takes like saying like, yo, like I wouldn't tell the children, but this is just an example. It's a bad example though, but granted. So it'll be like, yo, God wants you to get in STEM, and then they do that for their whatever. But you can say your ancestors or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because technically, wouldn't that be like spooked out to be like, yo, we standing on our ancestors' shoulders, they speaking through me right now? That would be a form of that. And I do the same thing, you know what I mean? So like, yo, I just think that we directed our prayer energy to the wrong direction. Instead of self-help, we're looking for other people's rehabilitation or something.
Yeah, but Focused, weren't you against manipulation the other day?
I am against manipulation. I'm not saying manipulate them though.
And you don't think that's
he's not against manipulation, Tanzan. I'm gonna let you speak, but he's not against manipulation. He's spooked out, like.
I'm spooked out. I was spooked out like all of us, but I'm against manipulation though. I mean, I ain't gonna say like I just think that is a slippery slope. That's all I'm saying. Because when you got manipulation, you get brothers who think that, you know what I'm saying, humans are just inherently evil, you know what I'm saying? That gain control. Like I think all of that just leads to, you know what I'm saying, like it's gonna be a problem down the road. It might work up front, but you know, I just think it's gonna be more problems in my opinion though.
So telling kids that God told them to study science might backfire.
Yeah, well, they'd be like, yo, God is a lie. There is no God. Why was I studying?
Look, I have a skin. You just teach them that they can live forever because as long as your story continues, you will be alive with that consciousness that this body comes and goes, and that the only way to live forever is for you to fulfill your task and for you to make a better world for the next generation, and they will tell your stories, and by that you will live forever. That's what they do to us all the time. That's the method with the Bible. That's the method with any book.
Okay, I think you'll be a new priestess to the cult.
Yeah, they tough.
You know what Tan said. I think, and before that, what the matron said. I think is the thing we should all be on. We should all be on that eternal life in terms of what we've left behind. You know, I saw Oni put up a tweet. I think it was today that said something like 1 hour a day. You know, 1 hour a day working towards your purpose, you know, is impactful. I think it's something like that he said. And I agree with that. I think we should all be working towards something that when we're gone, it still lives on. And in that sense, we live on. But Tan said something before that that's important. Like you can't just tell children, God said go and study science. Most kids have the sense to say, okay, well, where was this God when our people was enslaved for 200 plus years, and Jim Crow and all that, adding up to
It's
400.
because you weren't studying science. That's why he wasn't around.
Yeah, that's why. So God cursed us now. Then.
Yeah, the science that, by the way, can't prove the existence, right? So but I also want to address something that was said in the chat. The sister Tracy Stunson mentioned Robert A. Smith. He crossed my mind when I was thinking about.
That's a brother. My bad. Go ahead though.
Oh, my bad. I take that back. The brother Tracy in the chat said, mentioned Robert Smith and how he paid off student loans for the class of 2019. I remember that, and I remember it got a lot of big news. And like Tracy says, the IRS was looking him up like a month later or something like that, right? So my thing with that is that goes to show you that just paying off their bill really isn't enough. What Robert Smith should have done, and I hate to tell people how to do their thing, but a better idea would have been create, and this would have had to have been done beforehand, create the lane so those students could go down that lane, a lane that a black man created for the service of his black people, and create the lane for all of them to not have to go to this white man and beg for a job. I'll yield the mic on that.
All right. So, all right, y'all. We're gonna go through the next part, and we're gonna go through them kind of quick because I want to hear I'd rather hear what y'all got to say. So but if y'all want to stop and say something at the time, just say something, and it's all good. All right. So let me share this, and I wasn't gonna share this, but it's something important. She said, "Who cares about is a white girl, or whatever?" But she got mad because black people told her to mind her own business, stay out of our business.
Like the lengths some of you will go to defend like black men when it comes to misogyny is astounding. Black business. Oh my god, a black man could literally threaten to like R-word and kill a woman, and if it's criticized.
And she actually falsely accused a brother of doing something that he did not do, of trying to say he was promoting sexual assault, which he was not. You know what I'm saying? It was a complete lie, and people was calling her all about it. But
some of y'all will be like, stay out of black business. You're just demonizing black men. You're racist. Like the lengths some of you will go to defend like black men when it comes to misogyny is astounding. Black men are not immune to criticism. Surprise? I know this is a crazy concept, but it's not only Black women who are allowed to call out Black men.
All right, so I'm only playing this because Black business, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this is absolutely a thing that, you know what I'm saying, you know, that the powers that I'm inspired by is all for, yo. Like, yo, we may have our own issues, you know what I'm saying, between Black men and Black women, but other people issues is not our issues, you know what I'm saying? And they need to stay out of our business, and we need to stop telling people everything that we know and we do. We need to stop telling people all of our secrets, giving them away. In fact, get other people's secrets and bargain them away with other people. You know what I'm saying? They may have an issue with. Say, I'll give it to you for this price. You know what I'm saying? You could be like nuclear weapons or $100,000, whatever it may be. You know, but yo, there is a business that needs to be protected. Stop showing everybody how to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially because if you go to other people's businesses, right? And you know, it's a play. I guess it was a play. I didn't mean it, but you will see an Asian shop. You will see the Asian kid working in there. You know what I'm saying? I go to the white stores. I see white people working in there. You go to the Arabs, you see a bunch of Arabs. I go to the Black store. I see everybody in there. You know what I'm saying? And I go to a Black store that's around my way, and everybody works there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, protecting your business and what you know is very important. And don't be real, like, you know, we do these shows and I don't say too much on here because, you know, it is what it is. And they, you know, of course, they're watching it. But protecting your business is very important. Okay. Unless y'all want to say something.
She has no business talking about Black male misogyny until she addresses white male misogyny, casting couches, white violence in the home, white on white violence, the barbarism of these kids in these schools. She ain't got nothing to say. It's enough white people issues that they have amongst themselves for her to be sitting up there trying to talk about us. They got issues.
Mm-hmm. And I think she asked, well, I don't know, it was one of them. I think she asked, like, do Black women not feel supported by Black men or something? And everybody was telling her, mind your own goddamn business, you know what I'm saying? As they should. But, you know, I've seen the need to explain ourselves a lot, you know what I'm saying? And this goes back to this apologetic theme that, you know, I have this apologetic theme when it comes to us, you know, but, you know, we have this apologetic theme as us in general as a group with everybody else. And we seem like we got to explain ourselves. And, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Y'all got something to say though? Before I could play this? Okay.
That the good cops,
all right,
he gets demoted, he gets walked out the building, a lot of bad things. Let me take you to Kansas City, Missouri. A Black detective alleges that he was actually punished for reporting another officer's misconduct. Sounds familiar? Let's get into the background. Until about 6 months ago, Arthur William Ham, 52, was a member of the Drug Enforcement Administration's Kansas City Interdiction Task Force for 16 years. 16 years. Until he decided to speak out after another detective violated a person's rights.
All right, so y'all get the issue. Y'all get the point. The cop reported the police, and he got in trouble for it. Now, this is why I'm playing this. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we understand that, but yo, who the cop was reporting to? Because this is another part of it, and this is that, you know what I'm saying, theology. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people be like, yo, with ideology, right is right, wrong is wrong, but with theology, yo, what it says is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If I can have these Negroes fighting for themselves for the next 200 years, you know what I'm saying, then that's just what I'll do. You know what I mean? And, you know, we'll see what goes. But the brother, you know what I'm saying, instead of reporting he reported to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? He reported to the same people doing the same stuff. Now, if you feel the need to do something, and it's definitely important to have these kind of jobs, you know what I'm saying, it's also important to feed certain information back to your communities. Who are you reporting these things to? You know what I'm saying? Because and also rewarding these people when they do them and protecting them is important. But, you know, so y'all want to say something?
We don't have a way to punish these people. We don't have any way to hold them accountable for the things that they do. So yeah, he went to a white internal affairs officer to talk about what a white cop did. Who do you think they're going to punish? You're the odd man out in that situation.
Yeah, facts. Like they're going to punish you. But if you bring certain information, if you really feel like, yo, there needs to be a change, let me bring certain information or whatever, or put these people out on blast, you know what I'm saying, on your own. But you cannot go to the very people or pray to the very God that is against you. If you pray to the right God, then it will serve you in the right ways, you know what I'm saying? All right, so this is yeah, exactly. You know, and he was a police officer, which is very important in our community, for our community. And this here is a firefighter, which is also very important. But watch this.
Mary and Dr. Nicholas Nicosia walked into a hotel conference room with their attorney. 2 weeks ago, they were named in a lawsuit by firefighter Jared Jones, who says he was compelled to go to the party by his captain. The lawsuit alleges the party mocked the Juneteenth holiday and included racist tropes like fried chicken.
The allegations of this narrative have caused my family almost unbearable pain.
Our children are being attacked on social media.
Now, do y'all notice how they are so skilled at this? Like, yo, the crying. All right, now, I'm not even against crying. Like, yo, I saw a comedian be like, yo, black people need to learn how to faint. You know what I'm saying? The situation, they know how to faint. Now, I'm not saying faint or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying play to however the situation will play in your favor, play it. You know what I'm saying? It's not about right and wrong. It's not about good and bad. It's about surviving and not only surviving, because we got to get to a point where we're thriving, but you know what I'm saying? They have no problem hitting the fake cry, you know what I'm saying?
Cancer culture can be cruel. It took me 32 years to build my reputation, in less than 2 hours to destroy it.
Here is the entrance to the backyard.
Attorney Corey Hogan showed photos of the Nicosia house.
And you will see that this event was a political event. There is absolutely no racism anywhere.
But the photos of Donald Trump and tables, a Juneteenth poster, and cornhole game were actually staged last week to depict what the party looked like.
It was recreated.
I asked the clients to set it up so that I have an accurate understanding of what was where.
Mr. Hogan, can you share actual pictures of the party?
I don't have any. I don't know that there were any. I will find out.
Mary, were there pictures, actual pictures of the party?
I didn't take any pictures.
What I had to experience.
And she said she didn't take any pictures, by the way.
A month ago.
And yeah, you don't have to answer all these questions. If somebody asks you a question, you don't have to answer it. You know what I'm saying? And she avoided it. She dodged it. But you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. That's what God said, you know?
It cut me very deeply.
That's firefighter Jared Jones. His lawsuit says being forced to go to the party at the Nicosia home created a hostile work environment and discriminated against him.
I challenge you, the press, look into their backgrounds. Find anything they've done in their lives, their 50 plus years lives.
Like, oh, don't say
it's
that.
Racist.
We didn't have to wait long or go very far to accept that challenge because 25 minutes after it was made, Mary Nicosia admitted she's the owner of an anonymous Twitter account that she and the lawyer admit posted racist tweets. Mary Nicosia.
Damn. All right, so yeah. Tanzan, you got something to say about this?
Yeah, I don't know why people, still believe in fate and destiny and all this stuff. People should pick up beliefs in accidents and, unfortunate things happening on your way to and fro where you usually go to, That's all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is one of the topics for Shoot the Breeze tomorrow night, actually. You could look at the husband, you could tell he know that the lawyer fucked up. When the lawyer said, look in their 50-year history and see if there's any acts of racism. it's more par for the course type stuff. I'm not shocked by it. Any black person who's shocked by this stuff should reevaluate themselves. Yeah, I'm not shocked by it. And I forgot. Was there a specific question you asked me? Forecast?
No. I was just saying, yeah, just what you was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. I forgot about it. And by the way, I think a shout out to Bobby Wright in the chat, and I think Tracy Stunson asked if we read his comments.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. I think he was saying, did you read his comments?
Yeah, I read it. I talked about it. Yeah, so yeah, I'll yield the mic.
All right, and Amari to Bobby, right? Learner curve.
Why we act like we shocked and surprised every time something like this come up? I just like at some point you have to expect this type of behavior. You have to anticipate the fact that they're looking for a way to screw you over. I just don't get it. We just don't get it, as Dr. Barbara Sizemore would say. We just don't get it. Black folk just don't get it. We don't get it.
Yeah, and that's a fact. But maybe we don't have to get it. Maybe you are onto something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we don't have to get it, except for ritualistically. Because Tanzan, you remember the Mau Mau rebellion, right? Tanzan, and they just had they had the spears. You know what I'm saying, that protected them. The water protected them. The Maji Maji. I'm sorry, not the Mau Mau. The Maji Maji.
Well, with the Mau Mau, it was their word that protected them, and
Right.
you once you put your oath, it was a very secretive oath. Once you said something, you'd actually die, or they would believe that God would kill you if you went against your word. So your word was both your protection and your risk.
Yeah, you missed the show. I showed them because I was I kind of came to that, but I'm pretty sure all of y'all know. Would y'all be able to take the Mau Mau the vow?
Kind of putting us on the spot there. That stuff is super serious.
I would say yes.
But yes. And once you take it, that's it. There's no turning back. You can't even break it, even for your somebody that you love. Even it's between you and you and yourself, which is you and God. So you can't break it for your mother, your child, your sister, your cousin. That's how serious it is. So yeah, and that's how serious they were. They were that serious enough to actually kick and put the fear of the black man in those Wazungus. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm saying for us, I'm saying, like, us and like our future, what I'm saying? And I'm saying, would you take the for that, So yeah.
Yeah, we would have to. I would.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would, because that's the only way we're going to change anything. So yeah, if we had that type of oath, yes, I would.
Yeah, facts.
So with the oath, just remind me, folks, with the oath, if you broke the oath, I know it was deemed like a curse to your families, but I don't remember what was the apparatus of punishment. Was it all some spooked out type of thing, or was there an actual physical apparatus of punishment for breaking the oath?
Well, the first one was the self-punishment because, like you said, since you had put your word, the belief was that if you broke your word, you didn't even need to be found out. You would die. Like I know that there were some places in West Africa, they had a similar thing where if you went back on your promise, that they actually believed that you would die. So whether it was one of those real beliefs or not, when people broke their word, they literally died, very mysteriously. And if someone found you to have broken your word before death, had mercy on you, then yes, then there was punishment. And it was firstly, it was very strict. And then the punishment also was another oath where you said that you did not break your first oath. And so lying on the second one is like breaking it double. So your punishment would be double the person who simply broke it the first time and died the natural death. So there was a lot of, you'd be punished both in the divine, the divine aspect and also in the physical aspect. Yes. So there was belief in, the self-punishment, not self-punishment in a way, but your word would punish you because you had put yourself in that situation. You had given your word, so your word would be like the rope to hang yourself with. And if that did not, you'd have, the double lie that you'd have to be punished both by yourself and by the community.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not a follow-up question, Coco?
No, I just wanted to, again, I wanted to, considering the show's about spookism too, I just wanted to be sure that it wasn't like one of these biblical oaths that we hear all the time, right? Like these commandments that are given that even the damn priest and reverends in these churches are breaking all the damn time. And
that had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it was about like
against Christianity. It was forbidden by the missionaries, and if anybody
No.
Okay.
I get that. I just was trying. No, I know it had nothing to do with it. I'm familiar with what the oath was, or the series of oaths were. I just wanted to know, was there a mechanism, a earthly mechanism where people actually dealt with the oath breakers, and it wasn't just some spookism where, some deity will deal with that person.
Okay. Yes. It was both.
Yeah, they wasn't hard on the coons, Goku. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I won't even start.
I'm
Today
sorry.
is not the day.
Okay. All right, so the next thing is all right, so the reaction to the N-word, how God wants you to react versus how we react. This is how we react. Now I know y'all can't hear him, but that's the purpose. Now this is a 3-minute video of him. Now he called his son the N-word, right? And you see his wife standing behind him and his family and stuff like that. This is 3 minutes of him rationally explaining. Now, right? I like when just the feeling in your body, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's like when you hold back the energy that's in your body to do, you may not be able to explain it. Not everything is logical, not everything is reason, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the energy in your body just causes you to do something that you can't explain, you know what I'm saying? And I think, you know what I'm saying, if you're praying to the right God, is sending you to the right direction because you got the right thoughts in your mind. Now let's look at how some other people responded to this when they called the family.
You heard me? Y'all better do something about it. I'm calling the police on him right now. I just walked across the street to get something to eat. You want to run me over? Stupid. Monkey ass.
It was at this moment that he knew. He up.
He did call the whole family in words, and so the whole family jumped up on him. Now, all I'm saying is, my God didn't say, try to explain it to him, or I sit on a stool and try to make dumb examples or whatever. Sometimes it's just a reaction, you know what I'm saying? It's not an explanation, you know what I'm saying? It's a reaction or a response, better yet, it's not a reaction. It's a response telling me that, you know what, this deserves this kind of punishment so that we reduce the amount of times that this happens, you know what I'm saying? But I think that is a problem to suppress the energy that bubbles up within us when we see these things happen and try to say, no, I'm not the mad black. You know, I am a mad black man. I'm pissed off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you right now. You know, and it's okay. So yeah. Learning curve.
Yeah. I mean, he got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. I don't think that I don't think that they recognize the danger that they're always in when they're in our environments because they're so used to walking into a place and being able to colonize it and being able to just walk around freely like they go to other places where black people are like Africa or the Caribbean and things like that and they just walk around like they own everything that when they come to some real Chicago, Detroit, or, you know, in the hood style places, and they got that colonizer mindset, they get slapped in the face with the harsh reality of what we really feel. We can be polite in public, but don't push us.
Matron, what you think about that brother who was politely explaining why the N-word wasn't cool?
See, that's a whole nother apologist. I just want white people to be my friend and I want them to understand. They know that, you know, this is where I will say some of Neely Fuller's thoughts and ideas about it are correct because he said something in one of his broadcasts where he was talking about the fact that, you know, white people like to hear black people explain themselves. And black people that have been sent through their educational institutions, especially, feel like they are really doing something to educate these people when in fact it's to no avail. And they sit there and they drink their wine and they talk about the fact that, you know, they told that white woman and they explained to her this and they did this and they did that. And the white people go and, you know, they go on an almost apology tour because they need to feel something. And oh my God, I didn't know the history and I didn't know this and I didn't know that. It was just something I heard. Oh my gosh. And it's a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a whole bunch of bullcrap. They're acting out and putting on a show for their social media audiences or seeking empathy from their local community. I think that guy was just a sellout. He need to be over there with them white people when the revolution comes.
All right, Coco.
Yeah, I got a good chuckle out of that. I saw that before. I got a good chuckle out of it. I think these white folks kind of lose their mind, especially in their homeland. You know, up until a couple years back when they showed, I forget where it was in Africa now, but a white guy was in a hotel lobby carrying on like a rent mule, like a full asshole, and hitting on people in the lobby. Do you guys remember that? An old white man was like checking into a hotel.
In Uganda. Yeah, I think it was in
Yeah.
Uganda.
Up until that video, I had never seen white folks in foreign black places carrying on like that. Like I could tell you, when they come, because the matron mentioned this, when they come to the Caribbean, them folks, they mind their P's and Q's. They make sure they're not nowhere near our hood, you know, our hoods and all that kind of stuff. And if they do come through, they come through polite. This idea that they'll stand up in the middle of Jamaica and call some black folks a nigga is nah, that's not happening. But you know, this white boy did that. And I think that they do this kind of thing, even though they know they're gonna get their ass whooped. I think they do it because they are compelled. Like their thing is, we have to remind you all who you are. So yeah, y'all might be in this place here and eating nice and having a good time, but remember who you are to us. And even if it means I have to get my ass stomped out, that's fine, right? You guys with your cameras, this will go viral. And this will be that reminder to both you guys and my own people of what you guys are to us. So I found it amusing. But again, I kind of expect it now. And I'll yield the mic.
Yeah, and before I pass it to Tanzan, you made a really good point. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he's doing that to remind, like almost like he's upholding ideology, almost like a theology. Like somebody would go to a church and shoot up people and say, you know, I'm not crazy. You know, I did it to start a race war. You know, to keep them in their place, to make sure that they are in check. You know what I'm saying? To make sure these uppity Negroes aren't getting out of control. Not that they're thinking isn't wrong, but you know what? Why not stop these uppity, whatever they are, you know what I'm saying, from killing you, from harming you? I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6 kind of mindset is all I'm saying. Yo, what up, Bakari? It's on Tanzan, but yo, what up? What's going on, Bakari?
What's going on? What's up, everybody?
Peace, brother Bakari.
Peace, brother Bakari.
All right, yeah, it's on Tanzan, then it's on you, Bakari.
Okay. Yeah, I found it most very wholesome. It was a good scene, and everything was nice except for that apologetic guy. But it was good. He had a nice lesson that his face will remind him of the next day. But you're right, Koku, when you say that they set it up, even when they know they're going to lose, they still go into it because they have to keep reminding themselves and us of, their so-called power. I remember there was this guy who used to play pranks. He would go to black neighborhoods. Like he was this skinny white guy. He would go to black neighborhoods and tough guys and just say something like, "Oh, I've got a gun," or play these stupid pranks on the people, and then he every single time either the people would run away or the ones they knew that he was playing a joke, they would come and beat him, like physically beat him, and he would get off on that. Like that getting a beating was like succeeding for him. Once he went that and got them so mad, and then they came back and beat him, that was like a good video for him. Eventually they shut down most of the prank videos because they were getting very intrusive, but that's what he used to do. There was this other guy who he used to do magic tricks, and he found out that black people apparently had a much more camera worthy reaction, so he would just go and do the magic tricks in black areas mostly. So they have to keep either prodding or making fun or doing this sly jokes and tricks. Like all they have to do, it's not even that about fighting. All they have to do is just leave us alone. That is it. They don't have to be nice. We don't even want them to talk to us or to be sorry or guilty or all that. We just don't want anything at all to do with them. That's it. You mind your own business, we mind our own business, and we don't have to interact. But even when they say they can't stand us, they still want to be standing in our face. They're the most hypocritical. Even in their hatred, they're still hypocritical. So yeah.
Can I add something real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, real quick. I saw one of those type of prank videos recently where the white boys in like around black neighborhoods, you can say, and he's making like these signs with his hand, and black dudes are responding like, "Yo, what's up? You want some of me or something?" Like, and he even says it in the video at one point. He says these guys are going ape shit over some hand gesture. So a lot of what they do sometimes is reporting back to their people of how we can get them riled up.
Yeah.
And I'll pass the mic.
No, that's a good point. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Bakari Amani Mungu. All right, Tanzan.
Yes, Mungu is God.
Amani.
It was a white boy doing a prank. It was a white boy doing a prank in either Memphis or Nashville. He ain't gonna prank nobody no more. He pranked the black dude. Black dude turned around and shot the shit out of him. Killed him.
Oh, he got shot.
But anyway, I heard you talking about the N-word, and I heard the little white girl saying it earlier. You know, she said it with the A, not with the hard ER. So I guess that make it okay. And my thing is, since I don't call anyone that and I'm not that, and if I ask people not to call me that and they continue, in all honesty, I think Black people have accepted the fact that that's what they are because they say it so much in front of everybody. That's what they are. Then get mad because somebody else said. I know I hear Black people, it's something we can say, it's something we can do, but they can't. God damn, why do you want to be that though? Why does it have to be that? I don't know if that person used the N-word or not who was fighting the in and out, but who beat them up. But my thing is, if you literally use it and you call yourself that, why would you get mad with someone else for saying it? In all honesty, if you say it and you call yourself that and you say that's what you are, you shouldn't get mad about it. That's my take. You know, that's my take on that. And I know I hear even my son, my friends, well, my people in the barbershop, when I go to the barbershop, I'm like, dude, I don't care if a white person call you the N-word. You call yourself that all the time. Why the hell am I gonna get mad? I have nothing to do with me. I ain't in that fight. Stop calling yourself that. And nobody, you don't respect, see, we don't respect ourselves. Then we turn and want somebody else to respect you, right? So then to the point like when Tanzan, I think it was Tanzan who just said, don't care how much they hate us, they want to be around us, right? Don't care how much they hate us, we still want to be around them. They want to be around you because they feel they superior. We want to be around because we feel they superior. Being around white people make you better. So it don't make a difference what they say, don't make a difference what they do. It doesn't make a difference what they have done. Black people want to be around them just as much as they want to be around Black folks. I hear Mike.
Facts.
All right, and Sankar, the first time my brother came on the panel, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up? I was just enjoying the conversation and had a couple minutes to get on. I said I had to get on. I had to get into this for a minute. Yeah, just to add to that, I just agree with, a lot of stuff that you guys are talking about is not comfortable and it's not popular amongst our people to talk about. And it's good to hear that there's some of us bold enough and comfortable enough to talk about these things. Our people feel like white folks are our meal ticket to get ahead in society, quote unquote, or to do better in life. You got to go through a white man. That's the way we've been trained. That's the way we've been programmed. So I think that's why a lot of times it does seem like our people are afraid to confront, afraid to tell the truth, or either want to be, or afraid to cut off their connections with them and just deal with us on our own as far as building, because they feel like we need them. And it's a hard cycle to break.
Yo, definitely. And you came on here and killed it. And you actually brought us to the last topic. It was a perfect segue. And this may be a bit extreme, so you don't have to know, like, nobody who wants to comment can comment. But we do have to talk about the other side of my God, you know what I'm saying? Because we were sent here, we was the chosen ones, you know what I'm saying? And also not in my ideology. It is what it is, but let me show y'all something real quick, because I'm not even with the Bible, but it does say Revelations 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, right? So listen, you know what I'm saying? There is another side to all of this, you know what I'm saying? Because it does talk about everything in the universe is designed to survive, you know what I'm saying? It does everything that it has to do to survive. I've seen a bird fly down on my dog to protect the nest, even though my dog could have tore it to shreds, right? So it believes in this, like, just look at nature, the science of life, that's how it works, you know what I'm saying? Like, you must be able to, You know, so all right, so let's talk about my brother Bakari brought it up the other day, you know what I'm saying, on his show, with the sister that got caught. Bakari, I don't know if you've seen this video, but check this out.
Midtown shooter's cab ride to the airport.
Fox 5's Rob D'Arienzo has security video from the checker cab and also spoke with the driver. Rob continues our team coverage live from the checker cab headquarters in West Midtown. Rob, what did the driver tell you?
Well, Courtney, Tom, the taxi driver told me he didn't think too much of it at first. He's given rides to her in the past, and they're both from the same company, or country, I should say. But that cab ride turned out to be instrumental in leading up to her arrest.
Actually, when I was going to pick her up, I saw.
And they would show a black cop. Now, Bakari, are you familiar with what I'm showing here?
But I didn't watch it though.
I know you ain't see this one. I ain't know you ain't see this one, but I'm saying you know what the story is about, though, right?
Yeah, but I ain't watch it. Yeah.
Okay, but it's funny they're showing the black cop. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you who don't know, well, real quick, Bakari, y'all explain it because you can explain it better than me. Yo, Bakari,
talking about what happened.
Yeah, because I didn't ever show this story on here with the sister who I can't explain what she did.
Oh, she shot 2 white folk, shot 3, killed 2, one of them in intensive care. They have been harassing her. She got 3 lawsuits. It's been ignored. I'm gonna do one about that, show how they now all of a sudden they can show where she had been harassed and she going back to the police department, back and forth, and they basically ignoring what she's saying. And shit, she took matters into her own hand. And I wish the sister had got away.
Yeah, so you did.
I damn sure do.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what this says. So
police and the fire department, and I was able to pick up in front of all these people.
The checker cab driver says he's given Reza Kenye rides before. At first, he didn't think anything was off. Security video shows her hopping in and asking him to go to a house in Ainsley Park.
I didn't have no idea. I didn't even suspect anything. Again, because I picked her up before. It was not some random person that I picked up for the first time.
She then told him to take her to the airport. Then he got a phone call from the checker cab dispatch.
I had called every single driver that we had that was in the Atlanta area and asked
he got the call from her. This is who we got the call from.
If they had a passenger in their car, if it was a female.
Dispatcher Lauren Hewitt says he was the only one in the whole city at that moment who did.
There's a point in time where the dispatcher called me, and they say, I heard in the background, it's not her. The police say it's not her.
Then the dispatcher called back with the police on the other line. The driver then asked the suspect,
Do you have any problem with anyone?
Now, listen, I may be crossing the line here, right? But I've been given, you know what I'm saying, liberty from the ancestors and from, God, why is this brother playing detective, you know what I'm saying, in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Shut your mouth and drive to the airport, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you understand, and listen, I know other people will use this information for evil, and whatever I say is never meant to be for evil because it comes from, you know what I'm saying, something that's telling us we are the chosen ones, you know what I'm saying? And with this sister, she could have thought out a whole lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But why is this brother, you know what I'm saying, playing detective over here?
Okay. Do you? What happened? I said, listen. All the phone call I'm receiving is about you. You know, do you have any? Do you have a problem with somebody? Did you do anything? And she told me no. She said you safe. Don't worry, you're safe.
The cab, which has a GPS tracker in it, is
safe,
how we
you're
believe
safe.
police
Don't worry,
found her.
you're safe.
The video shows her pay and climb out of the cab at the terminal,
paid and
where
everything.
police later catch up with her.
I will get my birthday. Oh, yeah.
Now, this brother, and let me tell you something, you know what I'm saying? I actually worked as a cab driver, and that's the funnest job I ever had. You meet so many different kind of people. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? It was just fun to do. Like, I quit the job. I had to do it, you know? But let me tell you something, you know what I'm saying? If somebody pull out a gun and rob you, or somebody shoot you or something, you know what I'm saying? they're going to make sure they're not covered or get lawsuit. They're going to replace you the next day. You know what I'm saying? And for you to go out there and put your neck, and she is already telling you, oh, you're good, you're safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pay you and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this brother, you know what I'm saying, who is for this cab company is willing to sacrifice a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry for being long-winded. Let me play this last one. I want to hear what y'all got to say. But this is what Bakari was just saying.
Tonight, so speculation on how the alleged shooter knew the victims are circling right now. Tonight, investigator Rebecca Lindstrom found some court filings that may offer some clues here.
Raisa Kini acted as her own attorney, filing hundreds of court documents the past 2 years, seeking justice against claims of harassment and fraud. And today, we read all of them. By the time police arrested her, court records claim she was fighting to stop foreclosure on property in Douglasville, get her power turned back on. And while she did have her condo, as of May, she said she had less than $3,000 to her name and no income. She blames these problems on two groups: BDO, the accounting firm where she worked as an IT audit manager until last November, and the property management company for 1280 West Peachtree, where she lived. Let's start with BDO. Kini claims she found repeated evidence that audits were not being performed correctly. She claims she told her boss, Wesley Freeman, one of the men killed in the shooting. Kini says the company ignored her concerns, and when she refused to drop it, started harassing her. That's where the property management company comes in. She alleges they allowed someone to use a copy of her key to her condo to break in, steal things, and intimidate her. The other person killed was Michael Shinners, who worked as the general manager for that condo association. Kini did report these alleged break-ins to police. She states in her lawsuit that an officer was sent out to review security footage and dust for fingerprints. She lists 3 incidents in her lawsuit from last year, but it wasn't until a week ago that she started posting her allegations and frustrations on LinkedIn.
Someone broke into my home, right? They opened the safe, they broke the safe.
She gathering evidence too.
Took evidence that I had in my safe.
Kini has been trying for a while to get someone to listen to her claims. She actually reached out to us in April. She claims her phone and computer were hacked and that she was isolated from her family who live outside of the country. In her court filing, she says several times that she feared for her life.
Wow. I feel for
Hey,
my
you
life.
don't have the woman. Did you have it where she told the cops? Did y'all know that they found a smashed what they call them, little thumb drive in her house? That somebody got a thumb drive and smashed?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and she was talking to them cops. It was a different cop. She was talking to that one first, then it was a different one. And she said, y'all know, and I wanted to be reported as a burglary. And it was like, well, we can't report it as a burglary. You got to call the burglary department. What the hell? I've never heard it, but go ahead, because it wasn't my turn to go. I was just wondering if you saw that part.
No. That's information we need to know. But we're gonna go from the order that we went last time, because the revolutionary matron, I'm definitely interested in what she got to say. It's been a minute for her. So
Why did he turn her in? I don't even understand. He was good. All he had to do was finish his part of the assignment. He don't need to be all intervening in what they had going on. She was going to pay him. She just wanted to get to her destination. I hate that he was complicit in this. She was just trying to defend herself. She was gathering evidence. She was doing all the things they tell you citizens are supposed to do. This should be a case study to demonstrate that we are not citizens in this land. We are captives and inhabitants of this land. But I'll pass the mic.
Wait, matron, I think I missed something. Did that Negro in the cab turn her in?
Right.
He was trying to with all his power.
Oh, I thought that they caught her because of some I thought they figured out she ordered an Uber or something like that, and they followed the GPS. I know he was asking her questions inside the car, but I didn't realize this Negro actually turned her in.
Well, they told him that it wasn't her, and so he kept driving her. But that's when he started asking her those questions, like, "Are you okay?" and all this other crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He was trying to. My point is that he was trying to.
That's a whole ass dude right there for that. But I'll let the matron continue. Sorry.
Oh no, I was finished. That was my point. Exactly. He a whole ass nigga for that. Exactly.
All right, it's on you though, Coco.
Yeah. First of all, salute to the sister. That's the example we should all have, actually. That there comes a time when enough is enough. The faces of the white boys she shot, they have faces that are shot worthy, bullet worthy as far as I'm concerned. So I could just see the asshole in them, right? She showed you when enough is enough. Brother Bakari spoke about this. This is how I learned about this earlier this week, actually, from Brother Bakari. I wish she had her stuff, her plans a little bit better, organized. Because one of the things you got to pick up in that story too, and we should all know this by now, but they definitely tracked her through GPS and app usages and stuff. When you go to do that kind of work, and your boy, I think it was MG2, who was talking about this too. When you go to do that kind of work, you got to leave those phones and all that shit home. You're done with that phone stuff. You're done with those type of possessions. You go do your work, you have your shit booked, and you bounce. But salute to her. I'm sorry that she got caught. Sorry she got caught up. Sorry that this sellout Negro played a part in it, because, just get her to the goddamn airport as quick as you can and be on your way. Wish her luck and be on your way. But, that's my take on that story. I'll yield the mic.
Man, you're absolutely right. Tanzan.
Yeah, I think this reminds me of the Christopher Darden from a few years ago. Do you all remember that one?
Christopher.
Yeah, Donner.
Sorry, Darden was from the OJ case. Yeah, he also tried as much as he could to take his complaints. He asked several people. He followed the channels, and he was just not getting anywhere with them. They just played him like they did the other guy we were talking about earlier with the fire or the police guy. So yeah, you can't really tell someone how to react, but these are people, just normal, regular people who are doing, their best in life, and then they just reach a stage where they can't, they can't take it anymore. The difference between us when we reach a point like this is that a lot has to happen before, it gets to us reacting. It's not something that somebody calls you, a bad word one day and then you go off. It's usually something that piles and piles and piles until you either self-destruct or which is usual, or things like this happen. But for them, somebody could have been bullied in third grade by somebody who they don't even remember anymore, but they're going to make the whole world pay for it. So when we do things like that, it's usually something that has built up, and we will go for the people who actually did these things, not just random strangers. So yeah, like Coco said, I feel bad that she didn't get on the plane and just leave all this stuff behind. But
she's low.
Sorry?
Yeah, you a little low. I heard everything.
I just wanted to say I'm sad she didn't get away, but I understand how somebody can get to that point.
I think you got low enough.
Oh, okay, well, never mind then.
Well, now you laugh. Now you're good.
Okay, I'll just come around then. I'll let Brother Bakari go.
All right, yeah, it's on you. Bakari. Bakari would have been on you after Bakari if you wanted. I know he said he had to do something, but if you come back.
It seemed like he had a little connectivity going on, but he was in a spot where, I don't know, I guess he could have lost his job. He don't know what has happened. They didn't, but I can say this. It wasn't his GPS that was on. It's a GPS that's they got a tracking device on the vehicle. That's why when they talk about there's a lot of trucker jobs, That's why people are not taking the jobs, because don't nobody want to be watched all the time. A lot of those jobs, not only do they have a tracking device in it, they have a microphone in it where they can actually hear your conversation. So they would have seen her get out of his vehicle anyway. But I do think he went overboard asking those questions. But they had the tracking device on the vehicle, the camera. They had a camera inside. You notice, if you see, they could see him in a they could see him in the car, and they saw her when she got out. So they had they had the cameras, and obviously a mic, because they could hear his conversation, unless he was on the phone with them when he was asking those questions. But I hate the fact that the sister didn't get away, but they're not going to look into nothing that she said, because she's black and she's just going to be an animal. We don't have the right, according to them, we don't have the right to get fed up. More black people need to get fed up. And a whole lot of shit would change if black people got fed up. I get it, Mike.
Now, Bakari, I got to push back on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I did the job of a cab driver, and I would have took her anyway, but they gave the brother a pass, a straight up pass. Like, oh, that's not her. He could have just hung up and act like he never got the message until later. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally gave him a pass. He couldn't wait to get on the news to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? After they told him it's not her, he started questioning her like he's a detective or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we can't give. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not hard on the coons, Bakari, but come on.
Look like you coming around for that.
No, he's not a bigger enemy than the person you got.
I'm not giving him a pass. I just know I said he couldn't have asked those questions, but I do know when you were driving cab, when were you driving?
What you mean? Like a couple years ago.
When were you driving cab?
What you mean? Like when? Like a couple years ago.
Did they have cameras in your car?
Yeah, it was cameras in there, yeah. But you can unplug them.
So they could see everything. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you can see the whole car. Yeah.
I don't know what system they have. I can just tell you this from companies I worked at driving 18-wheelers, you couldn't unplug their cameras. And if you did unplug their cameras, the one that you could unplug, they knew, and they would call. Then they just gonna bug you till you plug them back up. But a lot of them you couldn't turn off. I don't know what type of system they have. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying. I say they had a lot of connectivity going on, but I do know.
They gave him a pass though.
He thought they said they called back. That's why he started asking them questions.
And he called them back to be like, "You sure? You sure?" They didn't call him back. No, I was just messing with you.
Oh, I thought they called him back. I didn't know he called him.
No, they didn't call him back. They said they called him back and was like, "It's not her." And then he started questioning her, and then drove her to the airport. That's why he didn't stop. That's why he kept going to the airport, because they told her it's not him, like it's not her. But he started questioning her and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He probably wanted to call them back. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying he did. I was just joking. But
you know what? Even with all them questions, she should have just got out the car. Just let me out right here. I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
All them questions that he started asking should have made her nervous. But she probably thought she was gonna be okay because there's a black dude from Cameroon. So she thought she was gonna be okay. And obviously dealing with him, nobody is okay. At least no black folks. That's obvious.
Now I know y'all Koku, Tanz, and Matron. Y'all ain't gonna give Bakari no pass for this.
I mean, the guy was from Cameroon and she was from Cameroon. She thought she was safe. No, Bakari didn't say that he gets a pass. I think Bakari is just trying to be objective. I'm not objective. He's race first, race only. I'm not objective.
Yeah, I'm just messing with y'all too. I'm just playing. I had to mess with Bakari. But yeah, I feel what you're saying though. But let me say this though, as far as this to be back serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, Because listen, you know what I'm saying, there is a point where you get pushed over the edge, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, especially if it brews up like Tanzan was trying to say, you know, yo, you have to plan, you know, be more organized, you know, make sure that you have a way out, you know, that you have to get out. You can get out of town, you can catch a flight, that you're not just catching some random, you know, ride, and be more organized, how to change your clothes if that's what you're going to do, because you know we have a lacking of people who are willing to take that, you know, towards that point, you know. And even if you did, you know what I'm saying, before you do that, you get into the right thing where you are willing to, you know, right into the right theology of, you know, black first, you know, black only, as you know, as we always say. So once we get into the right theology and having a right mindset and not just reacting emotionally, but using our emotion to our advantage, because that's the thing that sets us apart. You know what I'm saying? Having empathy is a power, but only if you know how to wield it, you know what I'm saying, and not let it control you. You control your emotions, you know. I got one more thing to show. Y'all want to say anything about that? Because the last thing is probably more extreme. Go ahead, Koku.
Yeah, can I add something real quick? One of the things that surprises me, because if you look at other people groups even in recent history, people who are oppressed and who are being occupied by an enemy force tend to have routes, tend to have hit squads, tend to have underground railroads, like we did, you know, back in the Ma'afa times. And it's surprising that we don't have those underground railroads anymore, where you reach out, you know, people in the community know the number or whatever. You reach out to so and such will get you up out here. Because guess what? These white folks have that shit, man. When I was a kid, there was a comedy show that I used to watch called Hogan's Heroes. I don't know if anyone here would remember that show. You watch it, Bakari?
Yes.
Hogan's Heroes is a story about these prisoners of war. I want to say it was during Hitler's time. It was during Hitler's time, and these dudes, you know, they're prisoners of war and stuff, but they have a network of information network. They have a goods network. They have a way to kind of get under these barracks and move around and you know, try to escape and all that kind of stuff. And you know, that stuff it was a comedy, but it was based on things that people was actually doing. And again, our people, there was a time, there wasn't too many names, but we know Harriet Tubman. You know, there was a time where we had these little railroads that actually could take you to the Bahamas and all kind of stuff, right down to Florida, and you get up out of here. That's the thing that we were missing now too. When you're an occupied people, you're supposed to have an underground that allows you to move around if things get too heavy. And I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so
I was just about to say she should have went to somewhere, got her some brothers, had her brother know some people who have done that, or live their life somewhat, or who done been to prison. Not necessarily did that, but been to prison, and have you a few $1,000s saved for your airport ride. Have you about $5,000 saved for your airport ride in New York. Don't even stop in Atlanta. Have your $5,000. Have your brother or sister ready for like $5,000 to take you to New York, to get on a plane, to go to Cameroon.
Yeah, and you don't even gotta tell them what happened either. You know, plausible deniability. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna show y'all real quick, because this is a little bit more extreme here. So, or y'all don't have to speak on this either. But y'all was mentioning it, Dallas gunman Michael Johnson. Now, listen, you know what I'm saying. Bakari knows. Bakari, how you feel about that brother who ran into that parade?
In Milwaukee, he was a hero.
Listen, all right, because God says, right, when there needs to be punishment. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let somebody come into your community. You can't let somebody just take over. You know what I'm saying? There's punishments when you pray to other guys. They're going to pray to their guys, you know, is the problem comes in when we pray to their guys, you know. And when you have a fundamental ideology that goes with the theology of black first, you know what I'm saying? Because black only, I'm sorry, y'all, black only, you know, that's when you on another level where you understand, you know, sometimes, you know, not all revolution is bloody, but some of it is, you know, some of the time.
He was actually really outgoing and really funny. He was one of the first friends I met when I got to Horn. And we were always joking and laughing. We were kind of similar in high school. Our group was like the outcast.
And listen, I don't know what this dude is doing here, telling the story.
You know, I was a skateboarder, I played guitar, I was in band, and our other friends were in choir, and he was in ROTC, so we all naturally gravitated towards each other, you know. He was really outgoing and funny. You couldn't go a day without him making you laugh at least twice a day.
So many people talk about these lone gunmen as loners, people who didn't have any friends.
Here they go. We're trying to dispel the lone gunman for the black men here. And hey, you know, we don't know how many gunmen there are. You know, there could be 60,000, there could be 6, there could be 6 million. Who knows?
As loners, people who didn't have any friends. You're saying that's not the case with him?
No, it's not the case at all.
No,
we had a group of friends. He just didn't socialize with everyone. We had our group. We were tight within our group. You know, we all had our own. We'd all hang out. Some people
we definitely can hang out.
Never got a chance to go to his house. We would go out to eat sometimes, to meet up, or play at the park with a pickup basketball game. So he had friends. We were all friends. It was about 6 of us.
We all friends. Like 6 of us on here, right?
Did you guys keep in touch after high school as well?
We did. After high school, when he graduated, he went to the military and I went off to college.
Here we
he
go.
Came back. We met up a few times and actually we would wrestle, meet up, just like wrestle and have fun, and just him showing me, look what I learned in the military. It was just the most amazing thing ever. It just seemed so happy.
Now I don't know if y'all peeped that, right? Here we go. Like when he come back from the military, let me show you what I've learned from the military. We would like, I guess he's saying he was showing moves from the military. And then he literally said, "Oh, yo, this is what I've learned in the military." Interesting.
And actually, we would wrestle, meet up, just like wrestle and have fun, and just him showing me, look what I learned in the military. And it was just the most amazing thing ever.
White dude's face was like, "Oh, really?"
Happy. Now, when you look back on it, and you know that what he learned in the military was applied right behind us here.
Now, what he learned in the military, what you learn is, you know, because God definitely says that's the part of wisdom. What you learn, you apply it. You put it into practice. You take it into something. You take something complicated. You make it simple by just taking action. You think about it. You know what I'm saying? You make a plan and you take action on that plan. You know what I'm saying? If I had to use something as a tool to learn how to do it, to use it for myself, then so be it. It is what it is. And it's okay because God says so.
Feel.
It, you know, it kind of hurt. You know, I didn't think he would do something like that. You know, he didn't show any signs of that back in high school.
Was he ever radicalized?
No.
I mean, apparently on Facebook he liked the new Black Panther Party, and
I don't know nothing about that shit.
I guess it must have been a secret group. So I'm always on Facebook out of pure boredom. So it hurt my feelings.
I only know about
he did do something like that.
Black women ain't ish type of stuff.
Prayers go out to the family, to his family.
Okay. I feel what you're saying. So let me play this real quick.
On the investigation into the gunman, new details emerged and his frantic. ABC's Matt Gutman is on the scene for us as well. There.
Good morning, Robin. Authorities are telling us that Micah Johnson acted alone. Still, they're picking through his cell phones and his laptops in order to determine if anybody else knew what he was planning. Now, they say that he'd been scribbling in those journals you mentioned, that he had practiced bomb detonation and doing tactical drills in his backyard, all in order to become what they call a killing machine.
Damn. One more time.
And doing tactical drills and scribbling in those journals you mentioned, that he had practiced bomb detonation and doing tactical drills in his backyard, all in order to become what they call a killing machine.
This morning, ABC News learning Micah Johnson had been planning an even more destructive attack on police for months.
He was amassing the capability to do more mayhem than he did on that day.
Black Lives Matter!
But police say he saw that Black Lives Matter protest as a target of opportunity.
He saw a black man being murdered as a target of opportunity, or I'm tired of this ish. I'm do something what I've been practicing because of this repetitive cycle over and over. Okay, yeah, we're going to know like what's going on in Ukraine right now with the white boys that ran up in January 6th, how they go over their training. But no, sir, I don't know nothing about them. Groups that they talking about online now.
One that he'd been training for, taking self-defense courses and doing tactical drills in the backyard of his middle-class home. Authorities say he even detailed some of the training and planning in a journal.
The person talked extensively about shoot and move protocols and tactics.
Shooting and moving tactics Johnson used to confuse and kill police officers.
He had a lot of magazines, and he was ready for an extended firefight.
The Army veteran was carrying a semi-automatic rifle and a handgun when he began sniping at police near El Centro College around 9 p.m. Thursday night. Dallas Police Chief David Brown telling CNN his officers were trapped in a kill zone.
We are learning some of the positions
let's
of our
bring the
deceased
Negro
officers.
in. We gotta bring the Negro in. Now, this is an art of war here, by the way. If you notice, every time there's always this Negro speaking, you know what I'm saying? And I understand that he's on their side, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying save him. I'm not saying there's a shot we can give him that can bring him back to life. But, you know what I'm saying? I understand what Michael Johnson was doing. Now, if he took out, I wouldn't have been so backing it up. It was all black cops. If he took, I'd rather him took them out than him. It's just all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm not saying he could be saved, but they have to bring him out as a sign of,
in a funnel. It ended up being a fatal funnel.
Towards midnight, SWAT teams corner Johnson and negotiate with him for 2 hours.
He just basically lied to us, playing games, laughing at us, singing.
Johnson leaving a final message.
He may have been wounded as he made his way up the staircase, and he was writing in his own blood?
That appears to be the case. On the way up the staircase, he scrolled the letters of RB.
Police
are trying to make him sound like a vampire or something. You know what I'm saying?
Still investigating its meaning. At 1:30 a.m., police fatally wounding Johnson with a robot.
All right, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna stop right there. So revolutionary matron. By the way, Raw, like, how do you feel about that brother right there? But a revolutionary matron, what you got to say?
I feel like his friend, we talk too much to these people. Like when I read old books, I look at the fact that they were getting secrets. They were observing our culture and our lifestyles. They were looking at our relationships. They would take our medical measurements. They would get information about the medicines and herbs that we use and different things like that. And that guy's just sitting there I'm just so happy to talk to a white man. Just so happy to talk to a white man, to get that little bit of attention that he just telling everything about what he thought. They didn't need to know that he might also be trained in military techniques and tactics. But on the other hand, it doesn't seem like he would put any of that to use. Michael was a hero, and we need to stop looking at him disparagingly. That's all I got to say.
Man, so you telling me I'm not spooked out because God said that that's okay?
God said, if you think about it in the Judeo-Christian biblical way, that you are not to commit murder. It's not about the killing of your enemies, because there are many examples where one of the gods of the Bible told those people to go slaughter their enemies. So it's not about killing. It's about an unjust murder.
Yep, and you know what, matron? I have come for the people that they call black. I'll say the God phenotype, but we call it black. I've only come for those people. So, Koku.
Yeah, I saw at least two things worthy to point out in that. Micah, number one, like the matron said, is a hero. That's point blank. Micah did exactly what I was talking about earlier in the broadcast. which is when you have your expertise, you need to be giving that expertise to your people. Now, like I said earlier, unfortunately, we don't have all the industries and the economies and all that situated right now. But so you might have to do it for this white boy, which is what Micah previously did. He did that for, he got that training and stuff for, in service of this white boy. But he had knowledge of self enough to turn around and give it to even his husky friend here who's running his mouth too damn much. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed, which is interesting to me, is not the white boy who's asking the husky fella the questions, but there's another white boy in there who's breaking down and doing this analysis of what tactics Micah used, like the shoot and move and all this type of stuff, and relating it back to Micah's training. And I find that interesting because they don't ever sit down and take that time with Dylan Roof and them, who went in the church and shot 9 unarmed black people in church. They don't do that with whoever else, the Buffalo shooter and all this shit. They don't sit down and talk about, what were their tactics and where did they get it from. And a part of that too tells me that they're also trying to make it known now. You got to be careful of these black folks who we put in the military. You understand? And they should be alarmed by that because as far as I'm concerned, every black person who decided to fight in the military and gain those skills, be it in sharpshooting, be it in hand-to-hand combat, you're supposed to come back and hold clinics with your youth and teach them so that they don't have to necessarily go into the military and learn that stuff themselves, but you're supposed to be teaching them that stuff in their communities and teaching them how to use it, the proper way, and for the right reasons, right? So that's, so again, salute to Michael Johnson because he got it. At some point, he got knowledge of self, and he was able to use that training against these folks. And it seemed like he actually tried to train others. The one thing he should have trained these others in is keeping your damn mouth shut. And I will yield the mic on that.
Sure, the art of shutting the hell up. That's definitely a fact, Koku. And by the way, I would have loved to find the tactics of the white boy who shot up the FBI agency. And it's ironic they would shoot up an FBI agency, storm the tactics they use to storm, the Capitol and stuff like that. When they are the protected group of people, and they built the FBI to stop us, And I would love to know the tactics. I guess take a notepad down or whatever, since they want to do that. Then, because it could be 6 million, could be 6,000, could be who knows how many of Micah Johnsons out there in this world today. Tanzan.
Yes, this is like a circle back to the STEM. We should have the mentality of no matter what field, areas, industry you go into, you're supposed to go with the mentality that you're going to bring it back. So imagine all these skilled and talented individuals that we have, not just in the military, but in the various sciences, industries, and so on. We are just scattered our talents, but if some of them could just come and share their expertise, their knowledge, even just the the experiences traveling around, the people who have never left their their state, so they don't even know about how the rest of the world works. And these people who have had that opportunity to travel, to fight, to get trained, they shouldn't just look at it like, oh, it's just to go to college. They should actually bring back the tactical expertise as well as the technical expertise in all these fields, and come back and teach the youth, especially with the military people. They could be the ones to actually focus the even in organization, not just in military techniques and all that, but even in organization. The military is a very organized, hierarchical system. So even having that setup of organization applied to the street people, that could be the beginning of the quiet revolution. But yeah, that's all I had to say for that.
That's a fact. And Yo, and let me say this, yo, could you imagine if black people in America went over to like black armies and like trained with them? What kind of problem that would cause? And nobody is saying nothing about the those Ukrainians going over there, or black people or Europeans going to Ukraine and Russia and all that to go train and bringing their military tactics back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, would you imagine how crazy that would be if black people went over there, start training with black armies and stuff, and they start learning stuff together? How much of a problem that would be? But okay, yo, Bakari.
Michael Xavier Johnson, a hero. I do a show by him every year. Hero. Koku say that big husky fella, as he called him, should have kept his mouth shut. Koku, he wouldn't be that husky if he kept his mouth shut. He got he got to open his mouth. He was just talking. Like, God damn, you gonna tell everything, you know, and he was showing us what he learned in the military. Like, what the hell? Maybe he thought he was trying to paint him in a good light. But God damn, but damn, he was just talking. Just kept on. He gonna tell everything. Then his prayers go out to the families. Look, man, I wasn't thinking about them police. And I got family and friends that police. And I borrowed some of them when I said it. But I remain who I am. It don't make a difference who it is. You know, talking about a blue line. You don't want to cross that blue line. You part of them. That's against us. And my nephew is a cop. And that's what I told him. I love you, but goddamn, you have to choose sides. And if you choose the police side, that means you're against me. I got friends and stuff I grew up with that's police. And I tell them the same thing, you know. But what he was doing is something we need to do. I just found my homeboy number, had lost it. But that's what we need to do. I got a friend that was a grunt in the Marines, one that was a grunt in the Army. And that's what he want to do. He about to start teaching us tactical training for free. Because he say he understand what time it is. And all that stuff he learned going to war for this country. It's time for him to show his people, both of them, to show their people. So we can go to war for ourselves. Hopefully it don't come to that. But I understand what he meant, because I was with him. I'm the one who mentioned it to him, saying I like to train women to shoot guns. And he started talking about his MOS, and the other guy, I like, oh, y'all know a little bit more than me. Because I wasn't a grunt. I was a cook. If I had to do over, I would have been a grunt. But that's what he's about, and it's free. So what he was doing was right, and what he did was right. When you see, we have been put in a position here where most of the time these elders will come out, and they know they could normally put the mic in an older face, and they gonna talk negative about him, right? And like Jose put in the chat, they get us with that "thank you for your service" nonsense. I don't want to hear that. Thank me for my. They be thanking me for my service. I had this white boy. He was in the black boy. He was hot with me. I don't give a damn. Thank you for my service. He started talking about him in war. Man, did you go to war? I said, I had orders to go, and I wasn't going to war for this goddamn country. He got mad. I said, man, fuck, hell with this country. This country said here everything happened to black folks. I told him, I don't know nobody in Kuwait. Ain't nobody in Kuwait. I don't know nobody in Kuwait, so I ain't going over there messing with nobody in Kuwait. Y'all won't stop people here from messing with us, so I wouldn't go. But yeah, thank you with your service. Like Jose said, we've been treated so bad in this country. We want to feel lifted up by some white people when they tell us that. It don't matter to me. I hear the mic.
Yeah, and Bakari, and I could say thank you for your service, because you helped me out with a lot of stuff. So I appreciate your service for, for the race, my brother. So thank you for your service, my brother. And I mean that one, so you can feel like it's okay now.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, yo, JB came on here. JB, we was about to wrap it up. I know everybody got to go, so but I want to let you get your point in real quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so go ahead, and then we're gonna close out. So
Yeah,
DJ.
I was
because
afraid.
I had to cut. Because everybody had a good point. I appreciate they came on here, but I was gonna cut them in like 10 seconds, real quick, all of them. Go ahead, JB.
First, hello to everybody. But I guess I didn't need to come on because Brother Bakari, I was afraid that I read back what I typed, and I was afraid that my English would confuse what I was trying to say. But Brother Bakari just explained it. It was that's all. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, that's all you want to say. You can just post. You can say what you want to say though. Yeah.
Is that noise? Is that me? That noise?
Oh no. Oh yeah. Come on with Tanzania. On mute when you unmuted.
Oh, greetings, Jose.
See, Bakari ran already. I was about to cut him real quick. Bakari ran. He already thought what was about to come. But go ahead, JB though. Say what you want to say though.
Yes. Brother Bakari just explained it. You know, we are vulnerable because we don't have a voice, and all this thank the troops, honor the troops, etc. I've noticed that brethren rather defend the flag and the country when they have served. But on the other side, you know, I guess it's normal that those are the sounds that reach my ears, because those that will bring it back to our people will not talk. You know, they will not talk. Yeah, okay, they will talk to people around them, and and there again, when we get a mic a mic and a camera in our face, we start babbling, and everything comes out. I've seen a show, and I think I can find it again, but it's very harsh to our sisters. It's about gang. It's about gangs and such. They are quick to kill each other and have codes against each other. But when a British camera team comes into Southeast LA, they start spilling everything, even names, real names, and the street names, and everything, because a British camera crew is in the hood interviewing people. That was around the Olympics. It was around the Olympics that was held in Southeast LA, among other places. And so this brother is very extreme, very harsh on our sisters. So I don't know if if this panel would like to hear it, but he's also very harsh. He's also very harsh to the manhood of nowadays, you know. And indeed, when we that's another effect of not having a voice in white supremacy. As soon as you get a camera and a mic in your face, everything comes out like the Niagara Falls. That's yeah. It's some social construct.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, next time we definitely come on earlier. So let me play this real quick so I can cut them and let them leave out. You know what I'm saying? To get their closing statements. But I gotta cut them. But yo, I gotta thank y'all because y'all gave so much information that I hate to do this, but I gotta appeal to authority. Speaking of love for the coon. You know what I'm saying? This is all I'm trying to say.
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill.
which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital for mentally ill Africans. I'm going to hospitalize you coons because I care about you and I love you. You're part of our family. I cannot let you go and do what you want to do. I care about the coons, brothers and sisters. I care about the coons, brothers and sisters. We're going to open up a mental health rehabilitation hospital for political coonery. We are going to treat the coons, brothers and sisters. We can't leave them out there. We have to treat the coons. The Dr. Papa Mental Health Hospital for coons. We have to rehabilitate the coons, brothers and sisters. Let us save the coons. We have to do this. We have to do this. We have to do this, brothers and sisters.
All right, so I had to appeal to authority on y'all to cut y'all real quick, but yeah, learning curve, y'all. I appreciate you for coming on here and giving all the information that you give, and real quick, if you could do it real quick, you don't have to, but all of y'all, like, yo, the power of spooked out, of the power of being spooked out. You know what I'm saying? If you could give a closing statement on that, and you could have mentioned the you being cut, you know what I'm saying, and bleeding all over the place too.
Nah, I ain't cutting, bleeding all over the place. Umar Johnson has a different objective. He almost is on that same path as I want to say Hiawatha Kabakamini or whatever his name is, where he feels like there are white Africans that have just been far removed. Excuse me. So no. So I wasn't cut at all. The power of being spooked out is prolific, and they tell us that religion is a tool for the wise and wealthy, and it is a control mechanism for the masses. So if we could use the technology that we have available with our intent and intentions to cater to that spooked out nature of our people, we might be a little bit more powerful. You guys can find me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays on our Matron's Learning Curve. Thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure to share a stage with all of you and to discuss these things with your chat. Peace, everybody.
Yeah, and I'm about to put everybody channel in the chat, so make sure y'all subscribe to everybody Matron Bakari. Now, it's tough to cut Matron. It is tough to cut her. She's hard. She's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? She can beat me right now, but I'm gonna figure it out. But Coco, I know you cut. It ain't no way you can get around it though.
I think the first patient for Dr. Umar is going to be Dr. Umar. Frankly, he hasn't come through that school yet. Now he's talking about building a hospital. Good luck. I'll say that the spooked out nature of Black folks is a problem. Obviously is a problem, and I will say that within a certain age range, you can try to prevent it. Within another age range, like an older age range, you might try to rehab it. But at the end of the day, it's our collective actions that are going to really curtail it. We have to start being serious about being serious. We have to give ourselves some major, some victories. But that's a big problem that we have. We don't have enough victories. We have a Michael Johnson here and there. But what about the victory of the Black person who was a STEM student and linked up with a wealthy Black person and changed the world, right? We don't have enough of those stories because, again, we're all spooked out. We're doped up on religion. We're afraid of pale skin because we think it's better than us and superior to us. But once we start to actually get some victories in terms of in terms of race first or race only, I think we'll be fine. Umar Johnson in particular needs to get himself a victory, get that school open, and then we'll talk about a hospital. I want to thank you, Forecast, for doing what you do, because you do, the beauty of the people on our network is that everyone does it their own way. I like how you do it. I like how Bakari does it, the Matron Tanzan, of course. and Oni and D Web and them from the House Rally podcast. So I love it. I'm happy to, when I can be a part of it, I'm happy to be a part of it like I was tonight. So thank you for letting me be on it. Oh, and just a quick reminder, we got Shoot the Breeze tomorrow night, 8 p.m. So if you guys don't know about Shoot the Breeze, just look up the Bitter Medicine podcast. You could check out some past episodes of Shoot the Breeze or the most recent one. We probably will discuss one or two of the topics that was discussed here tonight. So if you want to come and chime in, just come through tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
Yeah, and definitely subscribe to Koku, yo. That's and it's definitely Shoot the Breeze every Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock East Coast time. Matron Monday, 8 o'clock. And it's sad that y'all don't want to admit that y'all getting cut, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna appeal to authority here. But I'm just playing. But Tanzan is Tuesday at 6 o'clock East Coast time, which is 3 o'clock West Coast time. So yeah, Tanzan, go ahead.
Yes, I'll try to answer the question briefly. The question is spookism, the effect of it. I think the effect of it is the paralysis. Is what is it? Not paralysis by analysis. It's just simply paralysis. It's like that movie where this guy was paralyzed. The bell, something about the bell, and then all he had was his sight, so he can see the world, but he cannot participate in it. So sometimes that's almost how it feels like to be Black, because you can see the world, it acts on you, but you're only there to react. We're not, a lot of us are not in charge of our fate. So we can see, it's not that we don't see, we're not aware of what's going on. It's just that we feel almost helpless to do anything about it. So that's the effect of that spookiness. It just makes people become helpless and unable to do anything for themselves, and they can only hope for a better life, after this one is over. All right, peace. That's all for me. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday, at 6 p.m. Eastern. Like Coco said, I still have the Swahili. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on today early at 4 p.m. Eastern, but we'll see. But the official one is Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Okay. Peace, everyone. Good to be here. It was a wonderful discussion, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the Big Medicine podcast. Peace. Amani.
Yeah, definitely. So subscribe to Tanzan channel for Tuesday every at 6 o'clock East Coast time. All right, JB.
My closing statement will be not that much. It will be. I'm after this is finished, I'm going straight back to the beginning to listen because it's the brother is a good subject. I'm curious about what is said, and actually I'm curious about positive effects that his story have had on our people in the United States. Maybe he woke up a lot of folks, and you have touched it, or stuff like that. I'm going to listen back immediately. Yeah, that's my closing. Those are my closing words.
All right, yeah, thank you for coming on, JB. And real quick, let me put Tanzan Tuesday 6 p.m. East Coast in the chat, so they get it. They asked me to do that. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in to everybody's show. I got to thank everybody that came on here. That y'all made it a great show. So much knowledge, so much information. Bakari, Koku, Matron, JB, everybody that came on here. And yeah, so I got to thank everybody and everybody in the chat, Raw. And I got to shout out to Erica Howard all the time. I got to shout out to Erica Howard. And let me say this, you know what I'm saying? It is written, you know what I'm saying? We will shoot back, you know what I'm saying? A half a century ago, you know what I'm saying? We was out there, the year before Martin Luther King got shot, we was out there shooting back. You know what I'm saying? You go back to the Houston riots, the New Negro movement of the 1920s, we were shooting back. And God said that it's okay, you know? And there is a power of being spooked out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and debate whether Nat Turner was real or not. I'm inspired by that. I'm going to take action to live up to that kind of name, to live up to that kind of title. And so many of us fought and died and did all of the things that was necessary for us to be here. So I'm going to continue and do my own thing, you know, like Matron is saying, you know, Black supremacy is the theology, you know what I'm saying, is the mindset, race first, us being about us doing the things that we have to do to, you know, not only survive, but to thrive, put our children in a position to be where they have to be. We are the generation that is going to succeed. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around that. And we have been sent here to do that, you know, and I'm not spooked out. We are definitely the chosen ones, and there's power in that. So, as always, Amani, everybody, you know what I'm saying? And as always, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.